forget it this time. There were so many times where we would like be gone for a while and then we'd forget to fucking do it.
Nah, dude, it's like a well-oiled machine.
Hell
Except when
yeah.
I forget to plug in the headphones.
It's all good. That's so funny how that was the thing this time. Like normally it's like some cord isn't plugged in like correctly, or like this isn't like like logic is fucking up. But I was like, no, we just didn't plug anything
in the
in.
headphones.
It was like in fucking Christmas Vacation.
Oh god, that one was so good. I think I texted you about it, but I was like, yo, this one was fire, bro. Like I think if those who remember on the one where we did the first vacation and then I was gonna say Italian vacation, but Euro vacation, right? European vacation. Mm-hmm. I did like them, but I was like sort of lukewarm on some of the stuff in it. Yeah. This one was fire, bro. This was so good.
I'm glad you liked it because I feel like there are a lot of like movies, or shows where I'm like, dude, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. Yeah. But there was this one where I was just like, dude, this one is sick. It's fucking hella good.
It made sense too because it's like it goes like for sure into the Christmas spirit of stuff as well. Like where it's like, I think it's almost funny that I get it because it's in the Vacation like franchise that it's still called Vacation, but like they're finally at home. Yeah, which is also cool.
The like, vacation is brought to them.
Yeah, exactly. Time, you know, everybody's vacationing with the Griswolds.
And it technically is like Christmas Vacation. You know, the kids are off from school. That's true. Everyone's back, so point. It is definitely Christmas Vacation. But yeah, I'm also glad you liked it because I was also like, damn, I'm not sure if I really like this because I'm very biased because I would watch this a lot as a kid.
That's good. That was the other reason why I was excited to see it too, because like. I like Christmas movies and like finding out what families watched which ones because like there's like a pool of them that everybody does watch, but I feel like you'll find similarities and differences between like families of like which one was their one that was on. So yeah, I was glad to see it. I was happy about it.
Yeah, in my house it's definitely this one, Elf, The Grinch, Home Alone 1 and 2, and then like a Christmas Story. Christmas Story is a classic when you gotta throw it.
Christmas Story is on a lot when I was a kid. The thing that I always like is my grandpa won't have, at least like in recent memory, like I would say in like maybe the last 10 years or so. My grandpa won't put a consistent Christmas movie on. Okay. But he always puts in like fucking amazing, like awesome pick for like a rewatch. Okay. So just like something that you like know and love, like it could be a Star Wars one year, maybe it's like an old school Batman or Superman or something, but it's always something that like you haven't seen in a long time after presents are done and everything, where you're just like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna sit and watch this. Hell like pull off of some tamales and just got some cool presents and shit, whatever.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good time.
Yeah, I would say Harry Potter is also another one in my family that was like always. I think it was just because like, especially when I was in like elementary school, like middle school and stuff like that, and we had those like couple weeks off for school.
You had time to actually binge some shit.
Yeah, and then my aunt would also be here who really loves Harry Potter. Nice. And then so like me, my mom, my aunt, and my sister would all be together. And we all love Harry Potter, so we would just fucking watch that like throughout the week. Yeah, you know, sometimes power through a couple movies in a freaking night.
Yeah,
you know?
Of course. Yeah,
and that's a tough one because you know Harry Potter like they're long and they're heavy too. Like there's a lot of shit going on, you know. So
it's either like I feel like all the movies up until 3 are like front loaded with fun and then get really heavy at the halfway point, and then everything from 4 to 7 is just like suffer.
Like Harry Potter, guess what? You're gonna suffer all fucking year. You're not gonna have any fun at all.
You're gonna have such a bad time that you're gonna drop out of school. Like, that's how bad it's gonna be. You're gonna be forced out of it.
Gosh.
Yeah, I call her Tita. She's my tia prima, which is Diggs's mom. Also loves Harry Potter, and like usually as soon as it starts to get cold, she just like has them on in the background all the time. Like it's just like the white noise that makes you feel comfy sometimes. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I noticed my sister was watching it the other morning, like getting ready for like school and stuff like that. I think she was on the 4th one. Yeah. And I was like, oh.
That one's a classic for me because like I feel like that one came out when I was not the same age as Harry, but like starting to get up into like our pre-adolescent, like we were probably like what 11 or 12 when that came out. Yeah. And like I think that's Harry's 4th year, so I assumed he was like 14 or 15, so I was like, we're like the same age.
Yeah, 3 and 4 are like the ones where I like consistently can like go back to, and like I like all of them, don't get me wrong, but like 3 and 4 to me are like I really fucking like those
Azkaban
ones, you know?
is arguably the best one. But Yeah, 4, I think just like 4 was also like a sensation because like
yeah, they put on the whole like Triwizard tournament and everything like that, and you're like, holy shit! Like,
and that's
you
also
get to see other wizards from
yeah.
other schools and stuff like
true.
that.
Expanding the Harry Potter world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was just like, holy shit.
Plus, just like 180-degree shell shock, like shit's real now. Like,
yeah,
your fellow students can fucking die because
Yeah.
Voldemort's back. So
Exactly.
be careful.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's really good.
It's also funny how like him and Ron, or like Daniel Radcliffe and fucking
Rupert Grint.
like
Yeah.
grew out their hair because they normally like cut their hair for them.
Yeah.
And like the director for that one just like didn't know and was like, all right, yeah, cool, we're just rocking with the long hair.
They
this
look
time.
good. I like
Yeah,
it. It's
funny.
a good vibe,
it's,
man.
It's cool because I feel like that's also just a natural progression for a dude and like their hair growth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you can grow long hair, at some point you're gonna grow.
You're gonna
long
grow
hair,
it. Yeah.
you
I
know?
feel like that's like, especially during that time, like there was a lot of long haired like styles out there, and so it was also just like they're older now. They're teenagers. They're not. Their parents don't make them get their hair cut anymore.
I don't gotta get a haircut, Mom.
Yeah. I'm gonna grow out my hair. God. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, 5 and 6 are also good, and then I feel like 7 and like the last part 1 and part 2 are super fire.
They are. They're really good. I feel like the hardest part for me about that last stretch is that like I get Lord of the Rings syndrome, where like I just want to watch all of it. Because like from the end of 5 onwards is basically like the whole ending. Like that's when everything starts to like really fall into place for shit, and they really go on the hunt. So like that's what's hard about it for me, is it's like, okay, I'm gonna watch 1, but then I'm gonna have to finish the series because like I'm so close to how good the finale is. I'm not gonna not get there.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, because that 2-parter is pretty fucking insanely good. It's awesome. Like very satisfying.
I know a lot of people didn't like the first part just because of like
the cliffhanger.
Just the cliffhanger, and not that they like don't do a lot, but definitely
it's slower.
like it's slower.
Yeah.
The second one definitely has like there's a lot more shit going on. They find the Horcruxes a lot faster in the second one, and then shit really hits the fan. But like I don't know, just like that first one's so crazy because that's like the first time we ever get to see them like really at odds like with each other, like and like it matters. It's not just like some stupid like like friend like just stupid beef.
Like
it's
they're
like
really fighting.
Yeah, exactly. And they're really like digging at each other. Yes, it's because like the Horcruxes and stuff like that, but it's like they're really fucking
they're also on the road. Like that's one thing that I do. I've heard the argument, and like I can actually somewhat agree with it, is that like the they kind of rely on the Horcruxes in the movies to like make it seem like that's where they're fighting, which again is partly why they are. But like it's explored more in the book, and they do a decent job in the movies. It's like they're on the road for like a long fucking time though too. Like like the passage of time in the movie doesn't really do the book justice of like they're on a fucking journey, like on foot as outlaws by like Death Eaters, not like cops or anything like that or whatnot. Like,
and they like haven't graduated high school.
No, like they're still like Harry turned 17 at the beginning of the fucking story, and then like they're on the go. So that it's just so good. It's just definitely like a gauntlet of them like having to grow up and just like fucking face their first real threat.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that like played out like in like the series that we're gonna get. Like once we get to that part, like how many episodes are they gonna spend
for each of that bit?
Yeah, to like show like how long they're like on the fucking road for, you know?
I mean, if they do, you know, a classic HBO fashion, 10 episodes, 8 to 10 episodes, they could spend like probably the first half to like maybe a little less than half, I think, like of them on the road and stuff. Because the other thing too is it's like part 2 does ramp up a lot, but that's also just because like that's how the story is, because like conveniently enough, like all of the Horcruxes that are remaining end up being at Hogwarts, because it's like Harry, Nagini, and like
Voldemort's like no one's gonna find these
and like they're just
ever.
Because it's like the fucking Ravenclaw, Helena Ravenclaw's like circlet or whatever it is, right? I think. And then,
her little tiara fucking shit.
And then also Nagini, and then also Harry, which is like the last few ones that they need. So it also just fucking goes ham at the end.
Once the first domino falls, you know, like all of them follow suit.
It's inevitable.
You know? It is inevitable.
Yeah. Have you seen those pictures making the rounds where it's like the original design that they had for Voldemort in the movies? Because let me find a picture of it really quick. But in the books, he's like described as a lot more like snake-like
Uh-huh.
in appearance, and the movies did go for something like that at first, and it looks pretty cool, honestly. But it probably would have been a lot. This right here.
Oh dang.
Yeah, like full blown scary ass monster.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I guess it looks cool.
It's one of those things, I think, where it was probably made as a choice once they got the actor that they did. Because I think that, like, at first you're probably thinking, like, okay, this is a out of this world.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
At first, maybe you're thinking, like, okay, this is an out of this world villain that was described in books in like a way that we can't really, like, we got to really sell it on the prosthetics or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then you fucking get Ray Fiennes, and he's just amazing as it is. Like, they basically just turned him white and like put his nose off, and he looks and is fantastic as Voldemort. So like, okay, yeah, maybe we don't have to do much then. This is fine. Maybe not. I don't know. That's what I could see happening. Because they also change it too, right? Because like in the beginning, it's like some other dude, like in
the first one.
Yeah. It's just like a random face.
Yeah.
And then it's like young. I was gonna say Tom Dillon, fucking
Tom Riddle.
Tom Riddle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
At that point, they didn't have to be like. They probably weren't like, oh yeah, we have to find the actor for Voldemort.
No. Yeah. They weren't worried about it yet.
Yeah. Probably by the third one is when they were like, okay, now we have to.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. There's no Voldemort really in number 3, right? It's mostly like him fighting the Dementors.
Fuck, I gotta think because I haven't
watched it in a long time. I certainly haven't read it in even longer. But
yeah, I think it's more about like Sirius Black, and all that stuff, and like them thinking Sirius.
It's like it's a Death Eater and shit, like that,
and stuff like that. Yeah.
But no, there's like no Voldemort in it.
Yeah,
crazy.
God, now that makes me want to fucking go back and watch it so I can be like, I know exactly what happens in this.
Yeah. I know. That's a good one. It's always worth a rewatch.
But hell yeah, guys. Welcome back. This is episode number 84 of 2i4TV. You know what it is, 2i4TV, where two guys get too high and talk about a little bit too much TV.
Just a little.
But that's for you to decide. Yeah. And us to just, keep doing, to keep talking.
We're going to keep doing it too much.
Yeah, hell yeah. And we're in the fucking Christmas spirit. It's motherfucking Christmas around here. We got the Christmas tree in the background.
Yes.
We got our fucking ugly sweaters, our Star Wars fucking sweaters.
Hell yeah.
I got Darth Vader.
I got some Boba Fett.
He's got some Boba Fetts.
Yeah.
And we're fucking out here, guys. It's Christmas time. The best fucking holiday. There is no debate around it.
I agree.
Like, by miles, by fucking head and shoulders, like, honestly, it's way better than fucking Halloween, or like, I think Halloween's the only other one that like really competes with Christmas.
Everything else is kind of like meh.
Yeah,
I mean, they're good holidays.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong.
Halloween's cool.
Halloween is cool. I like Halloween. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to clarify, it's not a dig at Halloween. It's just, it's okay. You're second place.
It's just not as good as
second place.
Yeah, it's not as good as Christmas.
It's pretty good.
Christmas is great. So much cheer.
Yeah.
Good
times.
I wish we were in a place that had snow. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be the cherry on top of like the whole Christmas vibe.
It's actually having some snow around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been to a snowy place when it was Christmas. I've been to snowy places before, but always in the aftermath of Christmas, like in the early parts of the year.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. I've never seen Christmas snow technically.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Dang. And think about it. There's places where people just see Christmas snow every fucking year. They're like,
all the time.
Christmas time. Granted, like, it's for sure probably getting way worse now.
Super fucking cold.
It's it's cold here. It's insanely cold here. It's pretty ridiculous.
It is, in like East Coast or like Midwest type of shit. Yeah.
I don't.
Probably freezing cold.
Way below freezing.
Oh yeah. It almost got freezing here the other night, right?
Yeah, it was for sure like 30 something.
30. Yeah. Like
in the morning, it was for sure probably like 30 something.
Yeah. It was cold, man.
Yeah.
It's getting cold.
I remember when I was younger, I forget how old, probably like 10, 11, 12, around there. I played in a baseball tournament in Paso Robles, and we played in the morning. And in the morning, it was 29 degrees.
Holy when we shit, that's
it was
fucked up.
Crazy. But it's like, once you start like playing and like really getting like the blood flowing, you warm up, like, and you're just like, fuck, okay.
Yeah, we're out here.
But like at the beginning, you're like, holy shit, it's 29
insane.
degrees.
Yeah, it's literally below freezing.
Yeah, especially like in my uncle's car, it like had like the thermometer like on the fucking like right underneath the fucking rearview mirror thing, and it was just like 29 degrees.
Is the grass not like frozen? Like wet? Is pretty like slippery and shit?
I can remember. I mean, you have cleats, so you like dig into
fair.
the, you dig into the dirt, to the grass a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would assume like probably on the grass, it was probably like pretty hard.
Yeah.
Chilly. Yeah, but that was
crazy.
It's the coldest I've ever played baseball in. It's the coldest I ever want to play baseball in. Honestly, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to go below that. I want 29 degrees to be like the coldest. Yeah, exactly.
Or the lowest.
I don't want to be like, yeah, dude, I played at 22 degrees.
Yeah.
Like, no, you shouldn't be playing baseball.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be playing baseball.
Go home.
Yeah. You shouldn't be proud about that.
Sit by the fire.
It's like in Sandlot when he's describing like Benny the Jet, and he's like, rain, shine, tidal wave, whatever. He's like, baseball was his life. And I'm just like, damn.
That's cool, man. Good for you.
Yeah, shout out you, Benny, but it's not me.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, we were gone last week. We were just, we had shit going on. That's how life is. We got shit going on.
Stuff happens.
But guess what? We got a fucking loaded ass episode for you today. We got a lot of shit.
Back with a
vengeance.
Back with a double, quadruple, super fun time bonanza Christmas episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The super fun bonanza Christmas episode. I was gonna say banana Christmas.
Banana Christmas. I like that too.
Banana Christmas. But yeah, man, I haven't seen you in a while. What have you been up to? How you been? How's the shows going?
It's good. That's basically been like all of my time for the most part. I got sick last week, which sucked. Yeah. So I was able to get our latest school up and running, but I was out for the rest of that, like during the day job. Resting and recovering for the last weekend of shows that we just got to, which kind of sucked. So I was like basically just out of commission. Not much happened. Yeah. So yeah, it's been mostly just shows, which are going good. They are selling out more. We added a couple of days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, which is fun. I have one actually tomorrow at 1. We're doing a matinee. Yeah. So we're doing one for like the students.
Hell yeah.
Of like San Juan school. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited about that.
Nice. And you're gonna do it like over here or like?
No, it's still gonna be at the teatro.
At the teatro.
But yeah, they're gonna like I don't know if they'll walk or take a bus or what, but I think so.
Walk.
Yeah, seriously, right? It's only across town. It's not even that far.
Fuck no.
But yeah. So it's been good. It's been a lot of fun. I've been having a good time. Buddy got to go see it.
Nice.
Yeah, she liked it. Her mom and Jose came too.
I'm still trying to go.
I was gonna say I was about to bring it up. I want to get you to come, and I'm also gonna hit up Jake too.
Okay.
To see if he can come check it out.
I'm trying to see this shit.
Yeah, we have still one more weekend, and there's I think like 5 shows this weekend. Okay. Starting from Thursday to Sunday. So. If whatever day you have good, I'll figure out some ticket situation.
I have freaking. Well, what times are they? What time are
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? They're at 8:00.
Okay, I get off at 7. I can make those.
Okay, and then Sunday, we have a matinee at 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
If you'd rather get it out of the way early, I also have to see what like tickets are there still and whatnot.
I mean, I'm down for whatever. I think. To me, like a show at night.
Is
like that's the vibe, you know. Like when I think of like going to see like a play, I think of like going on Broadway and like going at night, you know. And it's like that's fucking dope, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Sounds good.
In the night.
Oh, that's the wrong lyrics for that song. But yeah, I want you to come too. I'm excited for you to see it. It definitely locked in this last weekend too, which is nice. Like, the work is not entirely done. Which is like a fun part of it. It's like in a movie or with a song or whatever it might be, you like put it out and then that's the thing, right? It was captured at that moment in time. But like a live show, even like a touring show, like for like musicians and stuff like that, you have like a chance to refine things and, adjust to what it's like in your audience and stuff like that, which is a trip, but it's cool. It's like, it gives you a chance to iron out the kinks that you still had and whatnot, but they're like pretty much gone. I'd say like 90-ish% ironed out, Okay. So it's pretty good. It's solid.
Nice. Yeah. And last week you were telling me you guys had to add someone new to the show.
That was new for me. I never really had to deal with that in my run of the Christmas shows, but as things happen, same way this shit happened with us. Like people have outside lives and other obligations and whatnot. So one of our we call them the principal actors, which are like, the main big roles and whatnot, agreed to do the part, but let us know like from the very beginning that they were going to have a conflict for one of the days. And so basically had to like get an understudy situation going, which again was cool, new for me. Yeah. So a little scary. But
understudy.
Yeah. But it was awesome actually. The show
Haven't
went really
you heard?
well.
I'm the lead's understudy.
I'm the lead.
What are you doing here?
The understudy.
That just makes me think of like in I think it's High School Musical 3 when they do like the final play and then like the dude is like fucking Zac Efron's Troy's fucking understudy.
Yeah.
And then he just even if we're miles apart, and then he comes in, all I wanna do is be with you. Only and she's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, dude. Oh man, those are so good, honestly. But yeah, it was cool. It went well. I was actually really pleasantly surprised by like how quick somebody was able to jump into like a role that big. It's kind of like mind-boggling to me. I've like done one part before with the teatro, like as an actor, and then like a couple things in high school, but it was like it's like hard to fucking memorize lines and like remember blocking and like all of this different stuff that you're like supposed to do over like the course of like a proper rehearsal period, let alone like just coming in and busting it out in like maybe 3 to 4 rehearsals or something like that. Was like pretty cool. It was pretty impressive. So it was kind of a treat. It was cool. It was nice.
Dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but it's been fun. I've been having a good time. I've been making connections and whatnot. People who see the show hang out afterwards sometimes.
Nice.
And they're like, hey, I have this place here. If you play music, you should come and do that. So that's also been good. That feels good. That's nice. And they're like cool people, you know, there's the bar there. So like we'll hang out and have a drink afterwards and just talk. And I feel like a little artist, man. Yeah. I feel like a little guy who's got some stuff going and whatnot. Yeah, so it's cool. It's been good.
That's fucking
It's
good,
been a
man.
fun experience.
That's hella good. I'm glad.
How about yourself? You have just hit your day of aging.
I did,
Your
bro.
birthday. I was trying to think of what they call it in like medieval times. It's like something cooler. It's not day of aging.
That sounds cool.
That's all right, I guess. But yeah, 26, right?
Yes.
Crazy.
I am now. I now legally have to get insurance for myself.
Yep. Yeah.
Which is fucking great.
That's like the big milestone.
Yeah, they're like, hey, congratulations. Guess what? You're on your own fully now.
Congrats on making it past a quarter of a century.
Exactly. Thank you.
The rest is now harder.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But yeah, dude, it was good. It's always so funny because like I feel like as I've gotten older, people are always like, what are you going to do for your birthday? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. Like, you know, like I like personally feel weird. Not that it is weird, but I feel weird like asking people to come do stuff for my birthday to like celebrate myself. I'm like, hey, come out and celebrate me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always just like, you know, my parents always like, what do you want to do? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like,
let's go to dinner.
Yeah. So that's my thing. I love Sapporos. So I was like, let's fucking go to Sapporos. Yeah. I'm going to get myself a fucking filet and a lobster tail.
Hell yeah.
Because guess what?
It's my birthday.
Fucking birthday. Get it once a year. You know, I'm not going every fucking weekend to get filet and lobster tail.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we did that. Fucking got off of work early.
Cool.
Fucking, Des was like, why are you working on your birthday? I was like, hey, guess what? You make the schedule, so you tell me. No, but I was just like, I don't know. Like, I don't request it off. Like, I enjoy working, you know, like I enjoy working and making my money, you know? So I was just like, well, if you don't want me here, you know, I'll work half the day.
I'll leave early.
I'll come in early and leave early. Like if that's, you know, so I came in at 8, left at like 12:30.
Nice.
You know, got my freaking birthday 8th as I should.
Yep.
Came home, fucking, you know, munched a little lunch, you know, we weren't going to dinner till later. And then, went to dinner with my my parents, my sister, went to Sapporos. There was a lot of birthdays there, so I was just like, oh, this is fucking cool. And I love the fucking birthday song.
Yeah. They have a beat, bro. Yeah. That big old drum's fire.
Yeah, that shit's fucking cool. And it's always a good time, like eating dinner and getting a show. Yeah, I like Sapporos a lot more than Benihana's.
Me too.
You know, honestly, especially like where it's at. Like, there's like nicer scenery. Yeah, I feel like the vibe is a lot more. I don't know. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more inviting there. Like Benihana's is like, you know, low light, and it's like feels a little bit more like
feels very intimate.
Feels
but
a little too bougie for like what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it does, because it does feel like it's trying to be like, you know, that fancy restaurant kind of vibe, but it's also just like
exactly shit. I feel like Sapporo's like understands what it means to be like, hey, we're hibachi, let's fucking have fun, let's create a vibe here, and that's what it is, you know. You go in and it's always fun every time. So I enjoyed that. I've just been chilling, been playing a lot of fucking Lego Fortnite. That shit's pretty fucking fun.
How is it?
I honestly really fucking enjoy it. I think it's a really fucking fun.
So is it
addition to the game?
It's basically just Fortnite but Lego?
It's basically Minecraft but Legos.
Okay, so there's building involved with bricks and whatnot.
Yeah, but it's not like battle royale. It's literally like a creative like survival game like Minecraft.
Okay.
So you gather your materials, you craft shit. But it's like. I've never played Animal Crossing, but my homie Nico was like, it's like Animal Crossing crossed with Fortnite. I feel like it's like Minecraft. I feel like it's like Minecraft crossed with like Clash of Clans. Because like you create like your own village and you invite people to like live in your village, like NPCs and stuff like that, and you get your village to like a higher level and shit like that. So there's like more direction in like, okay, I can do this in order to do this in order to do that. It's a little bit more like Minecraft's definitely a lot more like hands off. They're like, here's this world, figure this out, you know. Whereas like
they're telling you how to build your base, how to get your resources.
Here you're gonna build a fire first. Let's you have enough materials to make a fucking crafting bench.
That definitely reminds me of like those Clash of Clans like type games where they like basically walk you through the day cycle. And then they're like, all right, now you know more or less what to do. Yeah.
But it's pretty fun, you know. It's Lego shit. It's like it's easy for me to just kind of like get lost in that game because it's like, all right, I gotta go and I gotta fucking run all the way over here to go to this biome to get this shit and all this stuff. So it's fun, you know. You create a world. You can have up to like 8 people in there.
That's cool.
And you can all like make your own villages and stuff in there and go to different biomes and like go on adventures.
So it's not like matches then. You like save your world and stuff. Like that. Okay, that's pretty cool.
So you can create a world. I can create a world. I can invite you to mine and I can give you access to mine.
And then like vice versa.
Yeah. So like my homie Nico created a world and that's where I started doing most of my stuff and where he was showing me how to do shit. And then so I just made a village there, and so when I go in, I just go into his world and just do all my shit. Fucking that's just cool. Do all my shit there.
So is there any kind of like competitive multiplayer to it? Like, is it like Clash of Clans where like your bases go up against others, or is it mostly like against the world?
Like it's just like against the world. Like you can make it PvP if you want, but it's mainly just like go and like explore the world and do all this shit. Like
so
that.
Like if you wanted to, you and I could open a world and like start on opposite ends of the map. And make it PvP and do it that way.
Yeah,
but it's up to you. It's not like you're being locked into like battle royales or anything like that. No. That's trippy. That's cool. I figured it was just gonna be like the building mode of battle royale, but like with Lego skins on it.
That's what I thought initially.
That's a kind of like the first thing you're gonna think of. Yeah, if you think Lego Fortnite.
Exactly. That's what I thought. But no, it's like it's really like. It honestly,
it's like a whole different game.
It's a whole different game. Yeah, it looks really fucking good.
That's cool.
And it's like. Obviously, like it just started, so it's gonna get better. Like I don't see Fortnite. Like there's like you go on and it shows you like how many different people are on the different like playlists. Like whether it's the builds or the 0 builds, and then like Lego Fortnite. Now they have Rocket Racing, which is like basically you have all your Rocket League cars and you just do like races and shit like that.
Oh, that's cool.
But like on Lego Fortnite, there's consistently like 2 million people like on that shit.
Dang, that's wild.
Like way more than all the other all the other.
It's gonna get a lot of support.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's already like super good. And it's just like
cool.
There's only like more to add on to it. Like I'd be like, fuck, I wish my backpack was bigger. I wish I could make my backpack bigger.
Yeah,
I'll probably do something like that.
Honestly, I feel like Fortnite is like the I guess I don't know Disney Marvel of or like Star Wars of like video games, where it's like they're consistently putting out like a bunch of shit. Maybe some of it is not always like fan favorite or whatever, but it's always like pretty finished stuff, like enough to be like, I think most of the time not like super disappointed in, because like a lot
there's
of
a reason why they get the rights to use Marvel and Transformers and start like literally everything. It is literally when people talk about the pop culture zeitgeist, it's fucking Fortnite. It's
exactly.
Fortnite.
It's probably
everything. There's everything.
Their concerts, like every
there's
idea.
There's anime
skins
in there. There's artist skins in there. Yeah. There's fucking streamer skins in there. There's fucking.
It's pretty crazy.
There's like a Jack Skellington set in there. Yeah. They have their Star Wars shits, and they have like a bunch of different ones and stuff like that. And then they have all their emotes. Like it's so hard to be like, fuck, I want this emote right here. And it's just funny. Like it's funny seeing like fucking Omni-Man fucking hit the fucking gritty or like some other shit. You know, I'm like, damn, where else would I see this in my life?
I also like too that like, cause like I can't really play the game. Like, yeah, sure, thank you. I can't really play the game just because like I missed the battle royale train. Like I don't think it's for me, and so
it's not for everybody. No, it's not for everybody.
It's just too long, and like it's just too. Yeah, I don't know. You know me. I'm like a solo player too, and like to a certain extent, unless you're just like ungodly good, you have to like play those games with like teamwork in mind.
Oh yeah.
And but I am like somewhat like secretly jealous of like not being in on it, because it like all of this cosmetic stuff of it is cool, but then they like go even further and do like gameplay tweaks where like web shooters were in the game at one point, right? Like lightsabers, like they had like the Attack on Titan gear and shit like that, like just crazy ODM gear. Shit. Yeah. You could do like Kamehamehas and stuff like that, which is just like cool. Like that's so fun. Like
it's honestly like it's really fun once you like get into it. Like I was so much like a low key Fortnite hater. I was just like fucking god damn it. I was like, I fucking hate this shit. I hate that something that looks like this is like so fucking popular. Yeah. And then you fucking play it, you're like, god damn it, I understand it. I get it. God damn it. You know, and it sucks you in. Like it's pretty fun. Like, you know, I just To be honest, if it wasn't for getting on with my friends, I probably would not be playing Fortnite.
Sure.
100%.
Yeah.
It's more so like I get on there and I get to play with my homies. Yeah. Like, you know, we hang out and we talk shit and we fucking play. And when we get a fucking win, fuck, dude, that shit's fucking sick, you know? And it's fucking cool. But yeah, the Lego Fortnite shit, I've been pretty fucking down with.
That's cool.
I've been hella on One Tree Hill lately because I told Buddy about it, and Buddy's been watching it. And I'm
been rewatching it again.
And I've been rewatching it, and it's fucking good, dude. It's really fucking good, honestly. It is so like, I don't know what it is. Like those dramas, like especially like that era, like they really knew what they were doing when they made like a teen drama.
Sure, yeah.
Like like it might not be the greatest stories all the time, right?
But like for its niche of stuff, for like,
it's so fucking good, and it's so fucking. It's just, it's addictive, bro. It's so just like, especially me, like, I've explained it before. Grew up, my mom watched a lot of soap operas. I had to watch the soap operas. Got into the soap operas because you're like, that's all I'm watching. And you're like, fuck, you're whose sister? Fuck, dude, that shit's crazy. And it's just like that, and it's, oh, dude, it's fucking good. It's fucking good. You know, all the actors are honestly pretty fucking good. Like, to be honest, like, to do some shit like that and to make it interesting, you have to be a really good actor.
Yeah.
Like, you can't bring, like, mediocre acting to stuff that, you know, may not be like the greatest script like of all time, you know, especially when you're like personifying like dramatic events and stuff like that, you know, you really have to have good acting to fucking sell that shit.
What's crazy too is it's like, it's also like a different like type of good acting that like some good actors maybe can't do either. Cause like, I feel like there's like a certain like special sheen that happens on like soap opera stuff. Yeah. Where like, you have to like be good enough to make like even these cheesy, juicy reveals feel like genuine. Yeah. And when you it's like, damn, that's pretty crazy. Like the only time I've experienced it is like with The Flash, which is not like probably as soap opera-y as like a full-on soap opera, but it can get pretty soapy.
It's CW, you know.
So it goes there a lot of the times. And like, like if you can get people to be fully invested in the most ridiculous backtracks or like retcons or whatever, like random new familial member or piece to the puzzle, then you got something good on your hands. Yeah, like something's going right.
There are parts that are honestly like super funny where I sit there and I fucking like I hella laugh, you know, because like there's one part where towards the end of the first season, like they're getting super dramatic. This one character who I honestly don't fucking like, you know, he's just been like a piece of shit, and now he wants to like leave like the town that they're in, which is Tree Hill. Yeah. And he like comes home and he like is talking to his mom and his uncle, and he's like, I have to make a change, blah blah blah. And he's like, I want to leave Tree Hill, and it's just like the music in the background is all dramatic, and it's like Chad Michael Murray, bro, and he sells it like pretty fucking well, but it's just like I was sitting there just fucking laughing, so I want to leave Tree Hill.
Yeah, definitely. It's the big reveal at the end of the episode or like something like that.
Yeah, but it's all, dude, it's pretty fucking good. I like how they incorporate like basketball, you know.
Okay.
They incorporate like a lot of like music and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of bands that go on there, like
that's cool.
Like Fall Out Boy's been on there, fucking Gavin DeGraw, like obviously did like the opening song, and he's like been on like episodes and stuff like that.
Okay.
One of the characters, his name's Chris Keller.
Nice.
He's like a piece of shit like musician. He's an actual musician in real life. I think his name's like Tyler Hilton or fucking something like that. But they like incorporate some shit.
Yeah.
At one point, like the fucking one of the members from fucking Fall Out Boy is like actually like on the show and like
is he like acting, or is he on there as like a Fall Out Boy?
He's like on there as like Pete from Fall Out Boy.
Okay, yeah.
And like so. Yeah, it's that's weird cool. Incorporating that, you know.
That's fun though.
He's just and like one of the characters ends up dating him, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm dating Pete from like Fall Out Boy," and like they go to this cabin, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like Pete's gonna be here," and everyone's like, "Yeah, sure, Pete is gonna fucking be here," blah 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 blah, and then like some shit goes down, and like one morning he like shows up and he's like cooking breakfast, and they're like, "Oh, it's fucking Pete here. From Fall Out Boy." They're like, "Hey, can you sign this?"
Damn, that's hella random. That's funny.
It's fucking funny, but yeah, it gets down, dude. Buddy's been hella liking it, so it's funny that we talk about that shit at work and fucking and annoy the fuck out of Des with it. You know,
I'm sure, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, fucking work. It was fucking crazy as fuck the past couple weeks.
Oh yeah, because she was gone.
She was gone, and then we were getting fucked with orders and shit like that. Like it was pretty insane.
Well, it's getting ramping up for Christmas and stuff like that. Right? Yeah.
It was nuts.
I can imagine.
So it was just a fucking long ass week where I was just like, I'm happy to go home and just disassociate with
just
something.
Dive into a TV show.
Yeah, dive into a fucking super like guilty pleasure like TV show, you know?
Definitely.
Or like just play fucking Fortnite with the homies, you know? Hey man, it's been a long fucking day. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna crack open some beers and I'm gonna play games with the fucking homies.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Why fucking not?
Yeah.
I also saw the new Hunger Games movie.
Oh, how was it?
To get into some like movie and TV talk, you know. It was honestly really good.
Yeah.
I fucking liked it. It was interesting, like, cause it's about Snow. So you know the guy who's like the president of the fucking fucked up shit in the Hunger Games and shit like that.
Okay, the old guy.
The old guy. Okay. Yeah. So it's about him when he's younger.
Okay.
And it's interesting. The Hunger Games, like the games itself, not really being the focal point of like the movie. Like it happens there like in the middle. Like it's just one part.
Okay.
Of like the movie, you know.
Interesting.
And yeah, it was pretty good. Like I was telling because I saw it with my mom and my sister. I was telling them after. I was like, "Fuck, it's just weird, like not knowing how to feel about Snow because he is like the protagonist. And you know what he turns into. You're like, damn, this fool kind of sucks. Yeah. But then like you know, he does have some like soft spots for like. So like the premise of like what happens is like we see him like when he's young and when all the like the crazy shit was happening. This was like I think we see him like 3 years before the Hunger Games ever like
were created,
and it was just like
chaos,
straight up chaos and stuff shit, like that. Snow comes from like a big like wealthy like family, like powerful family. But then when we like meet him when he's like 7 years old, like his dad or like his grandpa or whatever like dies, and that's like the last, like Snow is basically like the last of the men like in that family. So it's on him after that to like, you know, revitalize the name and do all this shit like that. So after we get him when he's little, we like fast forward like 10 years and he's like in high school. And he's like basically top of his class, and he's trying to get like a scholarship to a college so he can go and then, you know, do all the shit that he wants to do, right?
Yeah.
But then there's like a twist on it this year. Peter Dinklage, the guy who like created the games or whatever, like first and like implements the like mentors or whatever. So they So they pick the top like 24 kids or whatever in their class, and they get to mentor one of the peoples from the game. So there's 24 contestants, so each person gets assigned a fucking person to mentor. And their job, because like at this point it's like the 10th annual like Hunger Games or something like that.
Okay.
And like I guess people really aren't watching it, so they're trying to get people to watch it more.
Yeah.
And so like they're trying to figure out what they can do, blah 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 blah. Fast forward, Snow gets assigned to like this girl from District 12.
Okay.
Crazy, right?
That's
District
Katniss,
12.
right?
Yeah. It's, you know, it's like
it's a fan
service. So it's like 50 or some odd years like before like any of like the shit ever happens like in the Hunger.
Right?
And so he gets assigned to this chick, and this chick like sings and stuff like that. I thought at some points the singing was like a little corny, like it was just like kind of random. Like she just starts like, like singing all crazy, and I was just like, okay, like I'm down, like I understand what it stands for, but like it's just
Snow
like
White, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right? It's her,
yeah.
And I'm down. She's great, right? Like not that she's like singing terribly or anything. It's just like it's just a lot. Like when we first get introduced to her, and her first words are her just like singing to everybody. It's like, why are you at the like the reaping or whatever ceremony it is where they pick everybody?
Yeah.
And then why are you singing to the crowd? And then like the people there from like the Capitol like letting you sing to the crowd. Yeah. Also, like why?
It just feels like such a hardcore tone shift.
Yeah, it's like why is that happening? Granted, like
is this a musical?
It's at some points it feels like it because she just starts singing, and I'm just like, okay, but
that's funny.
But yeah, so he gets assigned to her, and so like he's trying to like make her more likable. Like how can she blah, 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 do all this? And he actually is the one that comes up with like he writes like this whole like paper or whatever on the Hunger Games and what he thinks like could make it better, blah blah blah. And he comes up with like getting them sponsors and all this stuff that we know in the current Hunger Games. He basically like comes up with.
Oh shit! Okay.
And the current runner of the games like reads it and is like, oh, I fucking like this.
Guy.
So let's fucking do a lot of this shit.
That's cool.
So they do that, and like the Hunger Games, like when they do it is like very different than what we know. Like we know like this super big arena where they can go and hide. And this it's like a super enclosed arena. So it's literally just them, the weapons in front, and that shit's supposed to happen just like super fucking fast.
I saw it in the trailer and it looked crazy. It looked more like a gladiator arena than like Minecraft.
Exactly. And a big thing that happens like right before the Hunger Games is there's still like a rebellious group within like the districts or whatever.
Okay.
And they try to blow up the arena.
Oh shit.
They kind of successfully do. Like it's pretty like fucked up.
Yeah.
But then the people like that are heading the Hunger Games are like, actually we're just gonna keep it going. So like this is like the first time where like it goes on for like a few days and people are like, holy shit, like what's going on?
Yeah.
But people get more invested into the people. They see what's going on. They can, get money. They can get sponsors. Like they had like the first like interviews before, and that's where we see like the homie who like I forget what his name does like the interviews or whatever in the Hunger Games. But
he's got like the crazy
hair. Yeah, the crazy hair. Like, we see him like do like the first like commentate like
is it
the
a
Hunger
younger
Games
actor
for the first time,
him, or is it him?
I think it's him. Okay. Pretty sure it's him.
Cool.
But yeah, we see all of that. We get like I said, we get to see all the sponsors. We get to see like the first iterations of like the drones that bring stuff in. Like these drones like aren't good at all, and they actually just like fly and just like crash into shit. Yeah. So they like fuck a few people up. One of the people that is one of the mentors, like that's trying to get into this college, like doesn't fuck with the Hunger Games at all and sees what it's for and is like really trying to like do his part to like kind of get rid of the Hunger Games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he gets assigned to mentor someone that's from his district. So he's not from like he's from like a lower district or whatever. He's just like super smart and like has gone to the school, blah blah blah, whatever. Yeah. So he gets assigned to someone that he actually fucking knows, and he gets like all fucked up. Yeah. And that dude ends up like running away, and when they find him before the Hunger Games, like they like string him up, blah blah blah, or whatever. And so the dude that's his mentor like feels hella bad and like goes in there. And they find out, they're like, hey, Snow, we can't have this guy in here. Yeah. We're going to loop these cameras so people don't see him. You got to go in there and fucking get him. Oh, dang. So Snow goes in there, and he almost dies, but then he fucking kills someone himself. Oh, shit. But people on TV don't see that. Yeah. So they just fucking, all of a sudden they get to and like, oh, somehow this dude got fucking killed. And people like don't know, and he's like keeping it a secret. Dang, and like that's being sly and like doing like crazy shit. And like,
that's cool.
At a certain point, he almost turns to like the good side. But then he finds out that like the girl that he liked, which is the one he was mentoring from District 12, like is actually part of like the rebellion group, blah, 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 or whatever. So that turns him like super evil. And he's just like, no, fuck this
like, you
shit.
betrayed me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Crazy. That's cool.
And she ends up like writing a song about him or whatever. And then the song that she writes about him turns out to be like one of the songs that Katniss sings like in the fucking in the Hunger Games and shit like that.
That's cool.
So it was a good movie. It was fucking long as fuck.
Too long?
It was pretty long. It was pretty freaking long.
How long did it clock in at?
It was supposed to be 2:55, but we were only in there for like 2.5 hours. I will say. Okay, all right. Like it like ended, and I was like, wait, it's ending. I was like, we should kind of be in here like a little bit more, but
20 more minutes. Or
yeah,
all right.
but
2.5's not bad.
Yeah,
2:55 is crazy.
It's
That's long.
It still felt pretty long.
Okay.
I will say it still felt pretty long, but it was good. Definitely a lot different than what we're used to. Yeah. But I would say a good thing to. If you're into the Hunger Games, definitely a good movie to watch. I'm definitely interested in like reading the book now for sure.
Because it's based off of a book.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Like a prequel book or whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool. Mm-hmm. Sounds fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. Yeah. You watched Godzilla, right?
Yeah, bro. Holy shit. -1. I highly, highly, highly recommend going to see it. It is very good. It's my favorite Godzilla movie.
Dang.
Easily. Fuck yeah. So it's also kind of different than at least the type of thing that we've been exposed to.
Is it in Japanese?
Yeah, the whole thing's in Japanese. Yeah.
Awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's definitely very different to like the type of Godzilla that we've been exposed to and are like continuing to be exposed to with like the MonsterVerse. But it goes back to its roots, and the whole thing takes place in the like aftermath of World War II. Mm-hmm. And so the main character is a fucking kamikaze pilot. Damn. Which is like the fucking like suicide bombers basically.
Crazy.
Yeah, fucked up. And
imagine signing up for that shit.
I don't think I don't know history very well, but from what my dad was telling me, they didn't tell you. Okay. Like some of them just got sent up and they're like, hey, by the way, you don't have an ejection seat. Like, do your duty. Damn. Yeah.
I was gonna say that'd be hardcore for like the dudes that are just like, no, like, I mean, I'm gonna be that guy, you know.
If I'm not mistaken, like, I think especially back in that day, like Japanese culture was very like duty bound. There was like even I don't know how long it lasted, but I know like at some point in the military there was like I think it's called like harikari, which is like if you fucking fuck up and dishonor yourself, you gotta like shank yourself in the stomach kind of shit or whatever.
Yeah.
So wild stuff. Of
a lot
like
of pride in their like nation and country
and then
and
especially during
wartime
and stuff like that. Yeah. So heavy. Crazy. And what's great though about the movie is a lot of that stuff is explored. And so so the main character is a kamikaze pilot, and that's not the end of it. It's not like that's just the setup. So in the beginning of the movie, he lands his plane on an island of mechanics in like the Japanese army. And he gets there and he was telling them like, hey, like my shit was faulty, like I can't be up in the air, like I need repairs. And they're like, okay, like come and land or whatever, blah blah blah. And so he does, and he gets out and he's chilling, and like the mechanics check his plane, and then the guy comes over to him like later on that night, and he's like, hey, kind of talking to him a little bit, getting the vibe of him, and he's like, I noticed all of us checked your plane, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like, what's going on? And like, again, because of like how heavy duty that like pride and like duty sense was, he's basically like shaming the dude because he like abandoned his shit. He like his plane was perfectly fine. He just decided to land it because he didn't want to fucking kill himself, right? Yeah. And so the dude's like giving him shit, and then right at that moment, fucking Godzilla shows up for the first time in the movie. And what is so cool about this one is like Godzilla is a real genuine monster.
Damn.
Like just fucking kills the shit out of people. Like chomping them, like stomping on them, whipping them with his fucking tail and shit. Like full-blown monster, like absolutely destroying people that you see. Not like far away, like, oh no, he fell on a building when he was fighting Ghidorah. Like, we don't know how many casualties there are. Like, nah, like, he's fucking destroying shit,
holy
bro.
Shit.
So, and it's like, he does it throughout a lot of the movie. And so what's cool is that, like, takes place over a long period of time, like, probably, like, 5 to 6 years. Like, they do a couple of time skips. And the guy comes home, the kamikaze pilot, because him and one other person survived. And there are only 2 survivors from, like, the Godzilla attack in the beginning. And he comes home to his village, which is fucked, because, like, it's, again, end of World War II. And he fucking comes across this random woman who, like, took in a baby that wasn't hers. And they, like, over the years slowly create like a makeshift family.
Okay.
But the dude won't like fully surrender to like asking her to marry him or anything, or like, you know, really like take on the father role and stuff like that, because he's like having these like PTSD flashbacks. Like he has nightmares every night of like waking up and Godzilla attacking.
Yeah.
And so he gets with like this group. He gets a job of like disarming mines basically that were left over from World War II. And then Godzilla starts to rear his fucking head again. And he like shows up and like they find him and he's like, no, we have to fucking take this shit seriously. Like I've seen this this fucker can do. And he's hardcore. And it goes so crazy. I'm not going to say too much more than that because I do want you to go watch it. But yeah, it's really, really, really good. It's a very emotional story. It's like a very human story that just happens to have Godzilla in it. Like, damn. I told Diggs, if it didn't have Godzilla in it, I would still enjoy it. Wow. I think it's still a well-written movie. That's like a very heavy exploration of like something that I don't fully understand because I'm not a history buff, and then even more so, like I'm not like Japanese or from that time. But like from what I can tell, they're definitely diving into like yo, that shit was fucked up. Why'd they make us do that? Like our military's fucking crazy and stuff like that. It's cool, dude. It's really good. Damn. And then it also has the benefit of having Godzilla in it. But yeah, it's epic. They have they have, at least that I know and recognize, they have 2 of the themes from the original Godzilla. Oh, damn. So they have like the classics like bum 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 bum, like when he's showing up and being evil and shit. Yeah. And then they also have like the like, my dad said in the old movies it was like whenever like the humans would rally to like take him on or whatever. But it's just this also like very epic theme, bro. And I was on some hype shit, dude. Like I was losing it. I was like, this is fucking cool as fuck, dude. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I hella want to see that shit.
It's fucking awesome.
I've seen a lot of people say like it's really fucking good.
It is really good, yeah.
That's hella funny to me. Like the second time Godzilla starts rearing his head, they're like, wow, okay, we got to take this serious.
Yeah, well, because like he's kind of like a myth. Like, and like everybody that did actually see him got wiped out except for like these 2 people. And then like you find out later that like the Japanese government basically told everybody that like it was American forces. So they're like covering shit up. Like they know of the problems.
They know about Godzilla.
Yeah, it's good shit, dude. It's really cool. It's awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It's a good just like humans versus the big monster. But
classic.
Yeah, it's good shit, dude. It's really, really good.
What is it? Godzilla -1?
Godzilla -1, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Did they explain the -1 in the movie?
No, but I read an interview of one of the producers or writers or something, I can't remember, who said that I guess it was meant to be that the Japanese people were already set back during during the aftermath of World War II, and then like also having to deal with Godzilla on top of that was like heavy. So in my head, I just imagined that like whoever translated it got as close as they could, and like it makes more sense in Japanese and whatnot. Because like, yeah, I don't know, in my mind, and I think like what a lot of like American audiences thought too from what I read was that like -1 meant that it was like a prequel to something else, but it's not. They've said like it's completely standalone, like it's just a one and done thing. So
not everything needs a fucking sequel.
No, yeah, I will say the ending of the movie does leave the door open very, very for sure, but depending on how it's explored, this version of Godzilla I would very much like to see come back. Yeah, it's cool to see him as like the bad guy again.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, I love the MonsterVerse movies, they're cool, but like he's basically just a superhero now.
Yeah,
like he's just he just shows up and beats the bad guys up, you know? Yeah, which is cool. It's really awesome. And they always frame it well, right? Because it's like, no, he's just protecting his territory, but like he's saving humans all the time.
He's just a superhero.
Yeah, he is. He's just a super guy.
God damn.
Yeah, the trailer released for the new one of that, and I thought it looked over the top, but I'm excited to see it still. New Godzilla vs. Kong.
We got to see King Kong do like his superhero run.
Yeah, and Godzilla too. Yeah. Yeah. Godzilla's jamming. He's going real fast for those little legs and arms.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And he has like pink on him now.
Yeah, I think it's probably some kind of evolved thing. Dude, the way that they do that in -1 is fucking tight as shit. Like his atomic breath.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking sick, bro.
Hell yeah.
It's so good. It looks very satisfying.
Damn.
Yeah.
And apparently like it wasn't like a super high, like it didn't have like a super high budget like as a movie.
No, I think like he looks good. I don't think anything in the movie looks bad, but it doesn't necessarily have the same like gritty, like realistic feel that the MonsterVerse movies have.
Okay.
Like, they don't stand out, I think, in the MonsterVerse movies, even though they are these hulking creatures, like, they feel a part of the world. In this, I think he feels a little bit, like, unnatural at times.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it sort of works.
Yeah.
Because he is a monster.
He's a big monster, yeah.
So, like, at times, it basically, like, teeters the line, in my mind, pretty successfully between, like, okay, this sort of looks bad to, like, maybe this is a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's good. Never enough to, like, deter you from the movie, I would say. Yeah. He's always still very scary.
Nice.
He does look like the old Godzilla, though. So if you think that looks goofy, then there's no getting around that. Because, he's got the small head and, like, the big lower body and everything and walks around like a chicken. But he fucks shit up, though.
Fuck it. I'm down for it. I'm down for it.
He's really fast.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's scary. Because, like, in the other ones, again, like, to compare to the MonsterVerse, he's, like, a big hulking thing. In this, he's, like, whipping his tail quick. Like, you don't even see it coming and shit.
See, I never understood why, like, in movies, when something was, like, super big, it was, like, moving hella slow.
I would just imagine because they're, like, much, like, heavier, gigantic things. But you would assume that, like, a thing would be able to, like in order for it to be that big, it would have to be strong enough to move itself.
Yeah.
So, like, why is it going to be heavier for them? But it's also probably just like an effect.
Yeah,
like it's just a movie thing.
Yeah, because like every time like Ant-Man turns into like giant, fucking giant,
he moves like a little slower.
Yeah, he's always just like, oh.
Yeah, he's not like full slow mo, but it's definitely like, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It is weird. It has to just be like an illusion thing.
Maybe it's also like the perspective, right? Like he's traveling such a great distance that are also like such a small distance relative to him. I don't know.
Oh, actually, no, that makes sense because it's like, it's probably just shocking for us, right? To see, because we don't actually have a real life reference.
Yeah.
Of like, his fist is so big that like he is moving a mile at a time, but his fist is like half a mile. So that is like a mile or so, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know though, right?
We're just bro sciencing it at this point. But yeah, it's like,
because wouldn't you think it would just like, because if I was just big and moved like a normal human, I could just run pretty fast.
Probably, I would assume. Yeah.
And would it not look more fast? I would assume it would look more fast.
Maybe, actually.
If I was super giant. You know?
Maybe not. Because, like, if you think about it, like, go look at it the other way, right? Like, look down at, like, smaller creatures and whatnot. Like, you think of a spider. A spider looks really fast because it fucking zips under, or a fly looks really fast or whatever, right? But I'm pretty sure if you just did a race and like put them in a straight line, you're way fucking faster than that thing. But maybe. You know what I mean? So maybe it's in the reverse, so that like smaller things that look up at bigger stuff, like they look slower technically, but they're like moving way faster.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a science.
Like I said, we're bro science.
Yeah, I'm not a science guy. Yeah, I'm not a science guy.
Neil deGrasse Tyson, come and hang out on the podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Tell us how it works.
But you know what I am? I'm a fucking Christmas guy, man.
Yeah,
I'm fucking ready to talk about some Christmas movies.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
What do you want to fucking start with? Because we got 4 fucking movies.
Are we gonna do? Well, we'll just go through all of them. Why don't we start with one of the animated ones?
Yeah, let's do Nightmare.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, chronologically that makes sense. You know, that's the one between October and
hell yeah, and it's always one where I've been like, is it a Christmas movie? Is it a Halloween movie?
Yeah,
and I think it does a good job of being both.
I agree.
Like, I agree. I think it shows a lot of like I think Jack goes through the progression of like understanding what Christmas is about.
Yeah,
and knowing that it's not just about like the symbols of like a tree, a reindeer,
presents,
Santa, presents. It's like it's more. It's like
it's a spirit of Christmas.
It's the spirit of Christmas.
It has it in the story.
Exactly. And then he just realizes like, I'm cool with Halloween. Like, cool, I'll help save Christmas, but like I've realized I'm cool with Halloween.
Yeah, he's like, that's more my vibe. Yeah.
But I fucking hella like this movie. It's been a while since I've watched it.
Yeah.
And I remember not really liking it as a kid because of all the music in it.
It's full on the whole time.
It's
just
full on a musical
the whole time.
And I was never like a big musical kid.
Okay,
right? I was never like itching to like watch something that had singing in it. Yeah. Anytime it honestly probably did have singing in it, I was like, not really my cup of tea.
Except for High School Musical.
Yeah. It took me like a little bit later to like really appreciate.
Yeah, it could be tough.
Those movies.
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah.
So when I watched it this time around, and I texted you and Diggs, I was blown away by all the music. I was like, "Holy shit, this shit's fucking
It gets
awesome."
down, yeah.
It does get down. Fucking Danny Elfman goes hard,
seriously,
and he's just like, "Hey, I'm just gonna sing as Jack Skellington."
Yeah,
like, Chris Sarandon. I understand you're doing his lines, but like, you can't sing,
voice, buddy. Yeah,
you can't sing.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sing, and you're just gonna sit in the silence.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, well, fuck it, we'll do it live. Yeah, but yeah, that shit's awesome. Fucking What's This is probably obviously like my favorite song on there.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
But I also really like the Jack's Obsession song, where it's like he's up in like his tower, and his friends are like something Jack, something Jack. Like that shit's hard, bro. Because like I think what I really enjoyed about the music is just the wide range of musicality that is brought to.
It's a lot of different styles.
Exactly, a lot of different styles, like, you know, probably a lot of different freaking time signatures and just like different things like that. Like, you know, going from something that's like What's This, which is a very like, you know,
kind of like a pop musical song.
Exactly,
it's the most famous one.
Exactly, arguably. To something like Jack's Obsession, where it's like you get the like the and like the cadences and everything in there are definitely like a little bit more like well planned out and like I would say more planned out, but definitely like are more intricate so you have to definitely spend time on like, okay, how am I gonna write this to go into that, to go into here, to go into there, and then getting the different characters also doing their lines that lead into the next ones is fucking it's just so sick, dude. I was just blown away. I was just geeking out as a music nerd. I was geeking out.
No, it's a very special thing that happens. Like, it can happen in other places, but I think it happens consistently in musicals where like, because like quite literally in order to be, well, I mean, there's no rule about it, but like for the most part, in order to be like classified as a musical, the characters have to sing like either the plot or their lines or their intentions or whatever it might be. Like in some way or another, like the lyrics of the song have to move along the story. And I think when you do that, it like puts you in a different world of like, what can you play with and what can you not, because you're not worrying about like, oh, what sounds catchy, what sounds like a good song, what sounds like this.
Everything's like a good song.
It's like, and it's more about like, how can we get the most like lines or not or not the most, but the right lines that are like telling you what's going on with Jack or telling you what's going on with like Oogie Boogie just gets down. His song is a jam too. Yeah,
exactly.
But yeah, like it's a fun thing about musicals, I think, where it's like they're very like lyric heavy, but they always find playful ways, because you can't just like, they're like almost like a album, like a diverse album in a sense, where like you can't just play the same song over and over again and have them talk shit at you, because it would get fucking boring and annoying. So you have to start like playing with it to get more and more different stuff.
That's why I like that Jack's Obsession song so much, because it feels very like bouncy. Like when they sing, when they're saying the lines, it's like dun 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 bum 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 bum, and it like feels creepy, you know, because it has the tone of like the dun dun dun, you know, like that. And like. Yeah, and then when you get up to fucking Jack, like fucking again, Danny Elfman just goes fucking crazy. Like he's just like, oh, you like that down there, but you're gonna fucking go crazy with this up here, and like, yeah, that shit's awesome. Like the town meeting song too, I really like, because again, I like when like all the different characters kind of like play off of each other.
Yeah.
And they do, is it this? Is it a what? Is it a sock? Is it a blah 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 blah? Like that shit's hella cool to me. Like I really like that. I like the playfulness like in writing. I think that's why I like, you know, rap music so much, is because when you have someone that's a really good like lyricist, right? Like they can play around with things a lot.
Clever. Yeah.
And like something like that, which isn't rap, you know, but it's like it's like
just lyrical as well.
It's very lyrical, and like the way they play with the words and everything, and like play with like, you know, rhyme schemes and all this stuff is like really, really like, I was just like, holy shit, this is awesome. Yeah, this is fucking great.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot too, and it's also just like a fun, I think in general it's like a very trippy story that is like pretty original, like pretty unique, you know. I saw this thing like literally earlier today. I was like, fuck, it's listening, it knows we're gonna talk about it today. But it showed up on my feed on Instagram, and it was like I don't know if it's true or not, but it was like this story that Tim Burton was passing by a like holiday shop one day, and they were taking down the holiday decorations and putting up Christmas ones. And he was like, whoa, those are two different things, those shouldn't exist together. I'm gonna make a movie about it. Or like I think first it was like a short story or like a poem that he wrote or something like that, and then he turned it into the movie.
It's a great movie too. I love it. I love it.
The story of it is cool, and it's like just filled to the brim with like style, I think, too. Like I think it's stop motion, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the early stuff of like a lot of like what is like now its own big style, I would say, of like, you know, things like Coraline and like even the newest Pinocchio that like Guillermo del Toro made of like stop motion's become like pretty big. But like this is like, it looks like the first early renditions of like how masterful and beautiful it is now, and it's like masterful in its own right, but it's just very cool to look at, and like how intensely you can like be diverse but still true to like the style of it, because probably it's cheaper, right, to just build miniatures of stuff. But like Halloween feels so creepy. Halloween Town like feels so creepy and like not in a scary way. I mean, maybe when you're like a little kid it's scary, but like in a charming way, I think. Yeah. Once you get over like, you know, your childlike fears of it. Yeah. Because I remember being scared of some of them when I was little. Yep. But like now it's like there's like a charm to it of like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to like vacation in Halloween Town or something, you know, like it feels it's very appealing. But then same thing in Christmas though, like you go to Christmas Town when Jack goes there for the first time, and it's like feels straight out of like the old school stop motion movies of like the old days, you know. Like
it seems like because my grandma used to have like in Christmas time she would like decorate like her random fucking like I don't know, like little desks or whatever that she had like throughout like her house or whatever, and they would all be like little Christmas scenes and stuff like that. Yeah. So it reminded me of like some shit like that, or like if you go into like a snow globe and they're like they do like Christmas in like a snow globe. Snapshot. Like that's what Christmas it reminds me of.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I was sad about, and like this is for sure just like the era that we grew up in, or like, and definitely like has affected my thinking of like projects, is I was like, fuck, I wish they made more movies like of the other worlds.
Yeah, I want to see what Thanksgiving Town looks like.
Exactly, because like those are like, I think Christmas Town and Halloween Town make sense, but all the other ones you're like, what the fuck would that even be? Like,
yeah, exactly.
What would Thanksgiving Town be? What would Easter Town be? What would Valentine's Day Town be? Or like Valentine's Town, whatever you would call it. You know? I want to see them. I got to see it happen. Give me a sequel, Disney. Jack Skellington explores the rest of the towns.
Jack Skellington goes on an adventure.
Yeah. The Nightmare After Thanksgiving, or some stupid shit like that.
But goddamn. But yeah, I fucking loved the shit.
Yeah, it was really good. Movie. I was cracking up because like I didn't really remember this very much, but like it made me laugh that the entire movie Sally is just trying to fucking poison and kill
her dad.
Yeah. So good. Yeah. He seems like he is a total asshole to her. Yeah, so like, exactly. You know, totally fine by me, but it just cracks me up that it's like 2 or 3 different times in the movie they're just very clearly like, I wonder if this poison will kill him this time. Just like drops it into his soup. Well, she's sneaky about it too.
Frog's breath.
Yeah. I know what you're doing with that frog's breath. But she's hella sneaky, though, with the fucking spoon that's got the holes in it. She's like, so tasty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I like it. He's like, oh, yeah.
Homie's just, like, impervious to poison, though. It just won't go down.
Yeah, he just gets all fucking knocked out.
Yeah.
And then she goes out. Yeah, that shit. I like how they, like, played around with her, like, you know, different limbs that are, like, sewn on and sewn off.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. And when she, like, saves Santa Claus,
she's a savage, dude.
Exactly. She gets down. Oogie Boogie is fucking scary too. Yeah, he's a little creepy motherfucker. He is still creepy. Yeah. I remember being young and being like,
yeah, Oogie Boogie is scary. He's the boogeyman, dude.
Yeah, but his fucking song is super fucking sick, dude.
It gets down, dude. Yeah,
all the songs are super awesome in this.
Yeah, it's really good. In this shit. I like it a lot. Yeah,
it's also crazy how short this movie is. I always felt like as
20, right?
Yeah. I always felt like as a kid this was like a long movie.
I think it's a thing about musicals too, though, is that because everything is sung, like you can only handle it for so long. You don't want a musical that's 2 hours without like an intermission. Like if you go see one in real life, you know, you get 15, 30, like 20-minute break.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, chill for a second. Like
that's true.
That'd be a lot, you know, to sit through like a full length movie like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it uses the time effectively. Like it doesn't feel short. It just happens to be short. Yeah.
One of my favorite things is when Jack like takes all of his fucking like drops off all of his fucking gifts.
Oh yeah.
And they just all start like attacking all the little kids. I like the one with like that big like orange fucking snake and it's like eating the tree.
Yeah.
And you have the kid, he's like, and he's just like standing like right there. That shit's fucking hella funny, dude.
I also was cracking up at like how hardcore they are about like somebody impersonating Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like it seems very clear that like everybody believes Santa is real.
Yeah.
Because like even the police show up and they're like, blow him out of the sky. And they like shoot rockets at him.
And like the news is like fucking.
Someone was impersonating Santa Claus. They have not found the real Santa yet. And it's like, what the fuck?
I like how all those people like in like the real world, like that are like the grown-ups, like you just didn't see their faces at all.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, we just didn't want to show
their
heads.
It's good. Yeah. The other animated movie that we'll talk about at some point in the next few minutes and or hours is did the same thing. And I think in general it's like something that like childlike or like imagination heavy like animations will do, because like it also reminds me of stuff like the Tom and Jerry and like whatever, like just things that you know, like there's just a thing of like more childlike wonder stuff.
Yeah.
Usually leaves the grown-ups out of the picture.
Yeah. Fuck the grown-ups.
We don't need them. It's okay.
Screw them.
Not in this world.
Freaking screw the grown-ups, man.
Forget
we don't fucking
them.
need another beer,
Unless
sir.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Unless it's you know, the magical one who has a big old beard and wears the red hat.
Big old beard.
Big old beard.
Okay, so what's up with the whole Santa touching his nose thing and like that's his superpowers? Like, that's how his superpowers are activated.
I don't know. It's like definitely feels kind of weird, but I mean, I guess it's kind of like it's effective for like a fun little like superpower activation, but it's maybe just unfamiliar to like at least my version of Santa Claus.
Yeah, I never, because I saw it in like they do it in like Violent Night.
Oh, that's right. Like they do. So maybe it is a Santa Claus.
They do that, but that's what I was like wondering. I was like, when has that ever like when has that ever actually been like a Santa thing? Because like I've known Santa my whole life.
Yeah,
and I never knew that was a thing.
That's good. Yeah, no, it's true. I agree with you. Like I've never heard of it before either. Maybe it's like more in the old school, like
let's look it up. Santa touching his nose.
Just type that into Google.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more in like the old school, like actual mythological figure of like Saint Nicholas than it is like the Christmassy Santa Claus, you know?
He touched his nose and then he flew up into the sky.
Yeah, some shit. I don't know. Well, because like there's hella like stuff about Christmas and certain like other regions of the world that are like hella different. Like they have like Krampus. Right, which is like the evil version of Santa Claus.
We're gonna have to do that.
I've never even seen it, so I'm super down. Either. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
Santa touching his nose.
So this is why Santa Claus touches his nose.
As it turns out, the reason why tapping the side of his nose while looking at another person as a traditional gesture, that means this is a secret between us. No need to let anyone in on it. In other words, Santa knows the narrator is awake and has seen him, but doesn't want him or her to tell.
I guess that's all right. I can get with that.
Okay, Nicholas, or the contemporary Santa Claus, according to Stephen Nissenbaum, the sign represented the equivalent of a secret wink, a visual way of saying something like, shh, I'm only kidding, or let's keep it between the two of us. Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I can get it. Like,
that's
it makes
fun.
sense. Like,
and that's his power.
Yeah. Haha. Yeah. Like, let's keep it between us.
That's
Boom.
cute. Yeah.
Santa has superpowers. This is how I get. This is how I. Okay. Interesting.
I like it. I'm down with it.
I'm down with that too. I'm okay with that explanation.
You have passed, Santa Claus. Your lore is still good. Your lore is still cool.
I like dude, what I really like in the movie is the scene when he's like fighting Oogie Boogie. What I think is a really good testament to like the stop motion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is when like all the knives are spinning and he's like going like in between all of them and doing all that shit. Like that shit looks really cool.
Spider-Man, yeah.
And that for sure takes probably so much time to do all of that.
Tons of shots, yeah, absolutely. I always still trip on like what do they use to like, is it just like green rods that they like green screen out later or something? Like how do they keep the levitating objects in the air, you know?
That's true. I don't know.
Like all of those knives flying through the air, or like even when he's on the sleigh and stuff like that. Like, is it just really thin wire that they like go and paste over later? Or
Probably.
I mean, it has to be something, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it looks so good and you can't tell. So it's such a trip.
The thing that I always think about with like stop motion and is that one episode of iCarly when Spencer's fucking doing it and he's fucking has it and he's like, record.
Yeah, that's right.
Freeze frame.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's just like doing it.
Yeah.
And then he eventually makes like his whole fucking movie.
It's
and
like
it's
the
actually
little
pretty fucking
squirrel
good.
thing,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, that's right. I do remember that. Yeah. I heard super randomly that like because that show got canceled, but apparently the last season left off on like a pretty hardcore cliffhanger because they finally brought their mom.
Yeah, and you've never seen her mom.
That's over now.
You just don't know who her mom is or what she looks like.
That sucks.
I like it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
But that would, I mean, I was trying to like put it in perspective. Like, I don't know if it has as much behind it, but like the only thing I could like link it to is I was like, damn, it would suck if like you're watching How I Met Your Mother and then like the show gets canceled. Like when they show the back of her head or something, you know, and then it's over. So I was like, fuck, for people who are really invested, that would suck.
Fucking might as well have been canceled with how bad the fucking last 2 seasons were, and that shit sucked ass.
I like the 2 seasons. I just hate the ending. I think even the last season is good. I still enjoy it, but I think the ending sucks.
The ending just makes it so hard to go back and just rewatch the show. Like I've wanted to like rewatch the show, but it sucks knowing like that's where you get to.
I can't rewatch it seriously. I will put it. I actually just got to the end of it again because I had just been putting it on in the background, and it sucks because like it's literally the last 10 minutes of the very last fucking episode that make it suck. Like everything even up to that is still totally fine. Like it doesn't go back on itself in the whole fucking bullshit. Like, oh, so you told us this whole story so you can go ask Aunt Robin again. Like, fuck you. It literally happens in the last 10 minutes of the very last episode of the whole show. And I was like, you guys should have fucking cut when they met. That was it. You didn't need to do anything else. Would have been fine. Would have been totally fine. It's very disappointing. It sucks. It's a bummer.
Yeah, like I said, it's just hard, like knowing like that's where you get to, right?
Yeah.
Like it's easy to go back and like watch Friends.
Yeah.
Knowing like how
it's a pretty satisfying ending.
The ending, like they all are still there. They all move off and do their own thing, and they do it in a very like
Ross
satisfying.
and Rachel finally get together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and God damn it, dude.
It's hard too because they made a bold choice, right? Of like you're anticipating the whole time, and you're like, why is like, sure, there's theories up to that point, right? Especially for the hardcore and like probably like slightly older audiences than like we were when it was really like on television. But it's like, why is he telling his kids the like story of like how he met their mother alone? Like it's only ever Ted or whatever. So like I loved it. It was sad as fuck, but it was really good for them to be like, yeah, she died. Your mom passed away a few years ago. That's why I'm telling you this
story. And then her kids are like, you like Aunt Robin. Go ahead.
Like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, so stupid.
You know what I do? You know what I do like Aunt Robin.
Let me go steal the fucking blue French horn again. Stupid fucking Ted Mosby, dude.
Fuck you, Ted Mosby.
Some full on Schmosby shit, dude.
Fucking hate you, Ted Schmosby. But yeah, back to Nightmare Before fucking Christmas. Yeah. That shit's fucking awesome.
It's very good.
Like watching it this time, I fully understood why it has such a big like cult following. Like that I didn't beforehand, but I think I fully like grasped and understood and like felt the full impact of like the Nightmare Before Christmas and was like, damn, this shit's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Even like the ending when they like sing or like singing together and shit like that. I'm like, damn, this shit's fucking great.
It's good.
This shit's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a certified classic for sure. It lives in like the it's weird cause it's not Disney, but or is it I don't think it was. I could be wrong. I have to check now. But I mean, it's on Disney Plus, right?
I don't know. Is it?
Let me see. I don't think it's Disney, but I could be wrong. Oh, wait, no.
Let's see. Who is it?
Well, okay. Seems like the cult answer in my opinion, but it says The Nightmare Before Christmas is kind of an anti-Disney movie. Sure, it's produced by Walt Disney Studios, and you can find it on Disney Plus streaming services, and its characters are found at the film's studio's namesake theme parks. but it's an anti-Disney movie.
It's not Disney.
Yeah. It just happens to live and breathe Disney. No, yeah, that's what I started thinking about too. Is it's like it was produced by Disney, but even beyond that, yeah, it's at the parks all the time and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty Disney.
So do you think Nightmare Before Christmas is a full-on Christmas movie?
Yeah, I think it can be. I like what you said better in the beginning of like, I think it's like a good version of like, it's a good Halloween and Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. I think it fulfills more of in my book, it checks off more of the Christmas boxes than it does the Halloween ones.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. In a Halloween movie, I would maybe expect like a more like evil ghoul is attacking, or like some kind of like witch or magic spell thing has to happen to like solve the problem. This is very much solved by like good spirit and Christmas. I mean, he fights Oogie Boogie at the end or whatever, right? But like, yeah, I think it's more of a Christmas
even movie. That was in like good faith in the spirit of like, I gotta save Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I understand what Christmas means to all these people. Yeah. And what it doesn't mean to me. Yeah. Like, I understand, like, I'm Jack. I'm the Pumpkin King. Exactly, I'm down. Yeah. But all these people love Christmas, and I gotta help save it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree. It's definitely more of a Christmas movie. It's something that I've always asked myself and been like, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But I think this time around, I was like, yeah, it does definitely check a lot more of those Christmas boxes for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's for sure centered around Christmas. You got Jack trying to figure out what Christmas actually means. Like, that's why I like the Jack's Obsession songs, because he's just like, what does it mean? What does it mean? He's trying to figure out, like, he sees all these things.
What's the deal? Yeah.
He's, what does he say? He's like, I've read the tales and I know the rhymes, blah, blah. So he's like read everything, studied up on everything there is to know about Christmas, but he still doesn't fucking get it, And I like that. I think that's what a lot of like Christmas movies like boil down to.
Yeah,
it's just like
trying to understand the meaning of Christmas.
Yeah, understanding the meaning of Christmas and how that brings people together and blah blah blah, all the fun and all that shit too. So yeah, I love it. I think it's a Christmas movie. I'm gonna be watching it a lot more now because I think the songs are fucking hella sick.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to the soundtrack for sure.
Nice, fuck yeah.
I love that shit.
Yeah, that can be our special rating system for today. Is instead of a full 1 to 10, is how much of a Christmas movie is it?
I like it.
Is it is it not a Christmas movie? Is it a Christmas movie? Or is it a Merry Christmas movie?
Is it a Merry Christmas movie?
That's like the maximum rating of Christmasness that it can get.
So wait, what were you saying again? Is it not a Christmas movie?
I guess we can say there's a
not a Christmas movie. Straight up fucking Santa Claus.
Straight up fucking Santa Claus. There you go. Yeah, like exactly. It. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. All right. So which one should we move on to next?
Should we stick with the animateds, or should we go to some Christmas Vacation?
I'm down to stay animated.
Okay, let's do Polar Express.
Let's do animated.
Okay.
I really fucking loved this one. Like, I haven't watched this one in a long time. Same. And I was like, I found myself like really like choking up and like tearing up a little bit. Like at the end, I was like, damn, this is so like well done. And I never realized like how much like the kid is like so down on Christmas.
Oh yeah.
And like not believing in Santa.
Yeah.
And like I was like, damn, like I never knew this kid, like not that he sucked, but was just like
he kind of sucks.
He kind of sucks.
In the beginning he does.
Yeah, in the beginning he does. But it's just like, like he sees all that shit and like what is he to believe, as a kid? Like he wants to believe like, oh, like, Christmas is real, like Santa is real, blah, blah, blah. But then he sees all this shit and he's just like, fuck, I don't know. And stuff like that, So it's like, like he said, he's a doubter. He's a doubter, So, but yeah, I really thought, I really liked this movie. I thought it was super charming.
Definitely.
I liked, I mean, obviously Tom Hanks like takes over the fucking.
He's everybody.
He's everybody in the fucking
movie.
That
before,
And I think he's fucking great. It's just like, it's so funny, like, watching movies with like Tom Hanks and like Bruce Willis, right? And there's someone that like when I was younger, I obviously watched a lot of movies like
they were
with them in it, like Forrest Gump, and like Toy Story and freaking the movie we're talking about right now, Polar Express, and it's just like them always being there, but never really like appreciate who they were. Like they were just always the characters. Like, this is Woody, this is the conductor. this is fucking, oh, this is Forrest right
it's a
here,
testament
you know,
of, like, how good they are.
yeah. But then I come back, I'm like, oh no, damn, this is Tom Hanks really
doing
like
all of that,
doing all this shit and really like working his ass off and like showing why he's like one of the fucking best actors, you know. And it was just like, holy shit, this shit's awesome.
Yeah.
But like, I also think the animation is like really good. Is it like the greatest? But I think it's like good for what it is. Like, I think it fits in the movie. It feels like this is the style of like the movie and what it should be. You know?
I honestly think, because I remember having like a bit of like, I won't say like a bad relationship with the animation, but I think at some point or another there was like probably enough memes around on the internet where I was like, yeah, that animation did suck or something like that, you know? Because like it does look sort of off at times, because it is going for like, in my mind, what tripped me out and what really sold it for me of like, I'm going to say the animation's actually really fucking good is it looks almost probably just about as good as like a AAA video game did, maybe like a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it came out in 2004. Yeah. So like this is basically 20 years old at this point. Yeah. And it looks probably about as good as some fucking big $60-$70 games, like on even like last gen, like PS4. Yeah. So I was like, agree. Fuck, dude, they pulled that shit off pretty well. Like,
no, it looks really, it's
pretty good. Yeah.
And I think to me it feels like it, like, again, it just feels like a style, like, to me. Yeah, like definitely. It doesn't feel like it's trying to be anything other than what it should be. Yeah. You know?
It feels like a dream like take on like reality or like something like that.
Like to me, like, did you ever read like old or like see covers of like the old, like, you know, like the Roald Dahl books, like the BFG and
oh yeah,
like,
yeah,
stuff like that.
Definitely.
Like the artwork, right? It does, it's like that it doesn't style. Look like super crazy, but it's like it fits that, and you understand like, okay, no, this is what this is, and this is what it feels like it should be.
They are like kind of realistic, but everything almost feels like a little bit softer. Like all the shapes feel like more inviting and like less harsh. It's like, it's really cool. It's almost like bubbly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But fuck, dude, the journey is also really intense. Like,
I know that train goes through some shit.
I was tripping out. I'm like, damn, these fools are just walking on the top of the train. Yeah. Like this train's going full speed and they're just like walking on it in the snow when the fucking wind's like gusting in their fucking face. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's hardcore.
Are you kidding me? And then this kid's just doing it by himself.
Nah, he would totally fly off. Yeah. But I actually really liked that when I watched it this time. Was like, it was really cool to see all of the different troubles that they came up with while you're in a single location, basically. Because the majority of the movie takes place on the Polar Express. Like, aside from the first, like, what, maybe 10-ish minutes, on if even that. Express. Yeah, I know that little song is a jam. That's just how it is on the Polar Express. Yeah. It's like super quick. He's on the fucking train like super fast, and then like the last like 20 minutes maybe, right?
They're at the North Pole.
Yeah. But even then, like, still fun shenanigans. But yeah, it's like I think they got very creative, and like
it's been 5 minutes till to like for the past hour.
Oh god, that kid's so annoying.
I fucking hate that
kid.
So
annoying, dude. But yeah, I was really impressed with like how many fun ways they found to like basically get into trouble. Like, it was in the spirit of Christmas, right? Because they're either trying to like save Billy or like, you know, save. The other ones don't even have names. I looked it up on IMDb, and they literally just call them Hero Boy and
Hero Girl. Yeah, they don't have names at all.
Yeah, it's Tom Hanks is the boy, basically, right? Like,
yeah.
But
I want to read the book because it's based on a book, and I want to see if in the book they have names.
They go into a little more. But yeah, like, they're constantly doing it in like, you know, the spirit of friendship or the spirit of Christmas or like something good, but they're basically just getting into trouble the whole time. Yeah. But it's really fun. They're like really, really creative ways. The one that I loved probably the most was when he loses the ticket, and it's like the long shot of the ticket just flying through.
Sick,
dude. It's beautiful. It's so good. Sick. So good, dude. I liked it a lot. It like gets packed. Taken with the pack of wolves, and then like the vulture gets it, and then it like rolls into the snowball, and like all this crazy shit. It's so good.
It's so crazy because like I love that sequence, and also to me, like, this time I was like, it felt like it was within the magic of the Polar Express. Like, like the ticket is so magical that it
needed
can't
to get back.
Like, it can't like be away from the
you
like
can't
the
really
train.
Lose it.
Yeah, like it's gonna fly off, but like because of its because of its magical nature, it's gonna be brought back.
If you read the read the description of the Polar Express's item ticket, it would say in parentheses, "Will always be returned to its owner."
Cannot lose.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I always want, ever since I was like, even this time, like, I want to try their fucking hot chocolate, bro.
Oh, dude, I completely forgot about that like dance number in the beginning of the movie, and I was like, whoa, holy shit. I get down on that all of a sudden.
I love it, dude.
They're fucking aprons that like make invisible tables, dude. That shit was cool. They like whip them out and there's nothing under.
I like when they like at the end when they stand on it and they like
flip it
and they're just like standing on nothing and they just like step down.
It's so
like
cool.
that.
And then they like tie it back around and just like land perfectly and shit. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, that was awesome.
I think honestly my favorite sequence has to be when they're on the front of the train.
Oh yeah.
And they're like going down and it's just like the ultimate roller coaster.
Yeah, seriously.
And then they go onto the fucking ice.
That part's sick, dude. And then like Tokyo drifting the fucking whole entire train and shit.
The whole time I was thinking, I was like, no way these kids in the train aren't just like tripping out on what's 100%. Going on. These kids are like screaming for their life. It's just so funny because we don't see them at all. No. And the next time we see them, they're like all having fun and just like playing. I'm like, you guys almost died right now.
The nerd kid does say something about it, but he's just like super chill about it. He's like, where were you guys? You missed all the fun. The train was drifting back and forth. They're like, whatever.
He was like, but yeah, there's no way. What did he say? He's like, yeah, but there's no way.
Yeah.
It was all an optical illusion.
Like, they told me that the train was going on ice, but that's impossible because you can't build tracks on ice.
It's just so dumb.
The know-it-all kid, yeah.
I fucking hate him, bro.
Yeah, he's very annoying for sure.
Such a fucking geek,
and he just blames everything on all the other kids all the time. He's like, it was his idea, or like, he lost it, or like, fucking, it's like, all right, kid, come on, that's enough.
And he's all, Santa, pick me for the first fucking present.
I know,
fuck
seriously,
you, bro.
Yeah.
How about I pick you for the fucking last
Santa puts
present?
him in his place. He's like, oh, shut the fuck up and be more patient.
Yeah. Santa actually fucking backhanded him.
That would be kind of hilarious, honestly.
He's like, shut Santa,
the fuck up, kid.
Just all anime
just
too. like,
no, it's like super dramatic and like he's like, pick me. You just see Santa like pulling his mid off and he's all smacks on the head with it. He's like, shh, quiet child.
And you hear like the Dragon Ball Z, like when someone gets hit, like the
yeah, that'd be awesome.
And then he just goes flying into the fucking wall.
Smashes into the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, that kid sucks. But the rest of the kids are sweet, and it's like a fun cast, and I like how it's a kids movie, I think, and so like it's pretty clear what the roles are, but it's just sweet at the end too that like the ticket punching thing like had who they were all along, and he's just like waiting to finish it or whatever, until they got to their journey. Like that's a fun part of it too.
L.E. What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah. I like what is his? His is
learn.
Learn, that's right. Yeah. And then Hero Girl gets lead, right? She's like lead. like a lead balloon or something like that. He's like, I think it's also pronounced lead, as in leader.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and then what's his name gets believe, right?
Yeah. And then Billy gets the special one that has like 3 different ones.
Of shit. Yeah.
That was like rely on other ones that ended
other
in
things that were basically rely on.
Yeah. They were like, hey man, like it's okay to like make friends.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Which I thought was cute. Like I liked how he like grew out of his shell. Yeah. Right? Like it's nice, like especially with like Hero Boy, we'll call him, right?
Yeah.
Like initially, like when he gets on the train and he is like kind of like hesitant, but then he like, jumps on, blah blah. And then he kind of sees Billy going through like the same thing, like he's very hesitant and then like decides to go after it. And then he's the first one to be like, hey man, like we got to slow this shit down, like for him, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. So I thought that was really good. It's like nice like foreshadowing of like things to come.
Yeah, definitely.
With him, like getting to see who he can be as like as a kid and stuff like that, instead of like being this kid who's just trying to be really serious and shit like
just
that.
Like away from everybody else.
Yeah.
All the time feels like an outsider or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, the thing that I tripped on in this movie this time was like, I looked it up and I did find a video, but I didn't watch it because like I was on the way home and like I don't know. There just felt like there was some kind of like Christmas Carol-esque shit going on to me because like again, Tom Hanks is the conductor. He's also Santa, and he is also the like, I just call him the hobo spirit. I don't know what his official title is, but then technically he's also the boy within the context of the story, because it's Tom Hanks narrating the story from when he was a kid, and he's also the dad, which is like funny and it is cool, but also I can't help but think that like there's some kind of weird connection thing going on between them, because the other thing that tripped me out this time too, it's like a super throwaway line, but they pull up to Billy's house at the end, and Billy's the only kid who has a name aside from everybody else in the movie.
Yeah.
And the nerdy know-it-all kid is like, I thought you were supposed to be the last stop to Hero Boy. So like, I don't know. It just like, there's like something that just like trips me out about it. That feels like there could be like a fun conspiracy theory of somebody who could figure it out, who's much smarter than me. But I had fun like thinking about it. And
this
like,
time I was tripping out, and like I started thinking like, damn, I think the whole thing was a dream.
Yeah, because it feels very much like, but even more is that like it almost, to me this time it felt like it was a dream from the perspective of one of the characters in a dream, and that it was Billy's dream. Because again, Billy's the only named kid. Yeah. Like, you know, he's like the one kid who wasn't scheduled on the stop for the Polar Express. And then he's the one who has like arguably the most growth. Yeah. But Hero Boy is like pretty obviously the main character. Though. Yeah. So it's weird. It's a trip to me. It tripped me out.
The whole reason I think it's a dream is because in the beginning, when like he first like sees the train, right, and he goes outside, he grabs his robe and it rips. Yeah. And they make it a point to show that. Yeah. And then when he like wakes up in the morning, that happens rips it again. Yeah. And you're just like, I was just
that's
like,
weird. Yeah.
I was like, huh.
Yeah, I wonder. I could be down with that too, because it's also just like. But the one thing that does also make me think it was somehow possibly real is the present afterwards, right? Not just the fact that it like shows up there, the like sleigh bell, right? Like the first gift of Christmas. Not just the fact that it shows up there, but the fact that like the magic of it is retained in that like the parents are both like, sorry, it's busted. Like, that's a bummer. And they also are like, where'd you get that from? And he's like, it's from Santa Claus or whatever. But like the sister hears it and like he still hears it. And then he's like, I don't know, maybe he's just a crazy Christmas believer. And he's
maybe it's also because we were talking about the line, right, where he says like, seeing is believing, but sometimes you can't see the things.
Yeah. Sometimes like the things that are most important in life can't be seen.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. Yeah. So maybe he dreamed it. He didn't actually see it. Like he didn't actually see it. And so that's just his new like way of believing is like he hears the sleigh bell or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I could see that too. But it was good though. I liked it a lot, and I think like it's cool to like have the climactic moment of the movie be like a struggle of like belief rather than like a struggle of muscles. Yeah. Which is always cool. Don't get me wrong. I love a fucking final fight scene, right? But it's cool that like everything's cool and chill and fine, and Santa's about to go deliver. Like everything went off without a hitch, right? Like it's not Nightmare Before Christmas. Like Christmas is going according to schedule. But the main thing that's at stake is like everybody else is hearing the sleigh bells except for Hero Boy. Yeah. And he's like, what the fuck? Oh no, blah, 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 blah. And then he has to give in and believe finally. And then Santa's like, you're the special boy. Like, you get the first gift of Christmas. You're the special boy.
I mean, he is the whole time, right? Because like Tom Hanks, the conductor Tom Hanks is like, he's going to pick one lucky kid to get the first gift of Christmas. It's just like looks directly at him and shit, or like the whole movie he's doing that kind of shit or whatever. Yeah, it's like kids get on the Polar Express so that they can learn how to believe in Christmas again,
or they die.
I know, seriously, hardcore. It's like kids' just life in danger.
He's like, just a heads up, if you don't believe in Santa by the end of this, we're actually gonna kill you.
You die. The elves eat you.
Yeah, because you've already seen what you've seen. Yeah. And you can't go back on that.
I like I loved the elves in general, because they were like at times just like fun, classic, playful elves.
Mhm.
But then they're also like dope stuntmen that do crazy shit.
Yeah.
And then also too, just like the businessy ones in like when they're sneaking in, and it's like, we got a hit on the naughty alert or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like the kid, and he's like, says he put gum in his sister's hair, and then he lied about it, and he's like, he's been good all year. Put him on the check twice list. And,
But next year.
Yeah, we'll cut him a break this year. It's almost Christmas.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude. It was cracking me up.
I like the whole like the idea of this environment that the elves work in being this gigantic like factory and shit like that that has multiple different departments.
Yeah.
And multiple different just gigantic warehouses that have a bunch of different shit.
Yeah, it's good. I like it too. I like did you watch? Did we do? I can't remember if we did it on the podcast or if I just watched it. I think we did it for the podcast. Was the Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell musical, Spirited or something like that.
I think we did it for the.
I liked that movie a lot for that reason too. Of like turning like Christmas is a crazy ordeal, and it's like usually just based off of magic tales.
Yeah,
but it's fun to be like, nah, this shit's a industry, baby. Like we got everything well oiled and ready to go to make Christmas happen. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Everybody's doing their job and shit like that. It's cool. It's funny.
I also like the visual of like the giant like just pile of freaking presents.
Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
Yeah, just like defying gravity.
Yeah.
Also, Santa's sleigh is tight as fuck, dude, in this one. Like, I like how in the beginning they're like, the sister, you hear her and she's like talking about Hero Boy, right? And she's like, he said that in order for Santa to get to all those houses, his sleigh would have to travel at the speed of light. And then at the end, he has like the rainbow whip, and it's like, he basically does like a hyperspace jump, and he's like, and just like disappears. I was like, oh, that was fucking cool.
Yeah. So that's fucking sick, dude. Yeah. So that's fucking cool as fuck.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Rise of the Guardians? Bro, that is a tight ass movie.
What is that?
It's an animated movie about Jack Frost, but it has all of the like icons of the holidays in it. And like other magical figures, right? So there's like Santa, there's the Easter Bunny. They have like the Sandman, like the guy who brings people dreams, the Tooth Fairy, right? Oh. But each of them is like kind of badass. So like the fucking Easter Bunny's played by Hugh Jackman.
Oh,
and
damn.
He's like a big gigantic jackrabbit who like fights with boomerangs.
A jacked rabbit?
Yeah, jacked rabbit. Yeah. Santa Claus is like played by Alec Baldwin, but he's like, I don't know if it's Russian, but like Russian-esque Santa Claus, and he like fights with swords and shit. Damn. Like they're just like badasses. But
what's this called?
Rise of the Guardians. Yeah, but it's got a good cast. Chris Pine plays Jack Frost in it.
Okay, nice.
Jude Law is I think he plays the Boogeyman.
Nice.
But he's like the main antagonist.
Nice.
But it's really good. I actually really like it a lot.
Rise of the Guardians. I'm gonna have to watch that.
It's cool. Yeah, it's a good Christmas action animated movie. But yeah, Polar Express is really good. I super dig it. Like I said, the amount of Christmassy shenanigans that go down certainly satisfies the appetite, I think, for a Christmas movie.
Such a good, like, charming, like, heartwarming, like, Christmas movie. Like, it's hard to not like this movie. Like, if someone told me they don't like the Polar Express, I would very much like
you just hate
like,
joy.
what do you mean? Like, what do you mean you don't like the Polar Express, bro?
It's just
so you hate Christmas?
Their favorite movie is probably Nightmare Before Christmas. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like this is certainly the most Christmassy movie, at least of what we've picked here today. Like, how can it not be? It literally has Santa Claus in it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Or the most classical Christmassy, I guess. Maybe you could make an argument that, like, you know, it's not just about the aesthetic of it, but in like a classical sense, I think it's the most Christmassy.
The most Christmassy that has to do with like the mystical aspects of Christmas.
Yeah. Of like the North Pole being
the
legit.
North Pole, the
like,
elves, and all that stuff. Because like you can make a case that like Christmas Vacation is also the most Christmassy as well because it has
like the most classic like Christmas spirit story.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it is just like Christmas, like it's what goes on during fucking Christmas.
Yeah, it's like celebrating the holiday of Christmas.
Or Die Hard. No, crazy.
No, it's not Die Hard. Sorry, Die Hard Christmas fans, but you ain't a fucking Christmas movie. You tripping. But yeah, it's just it feels very classic to me. Like I said, it reminds me of like this one, and like I was saying, the Christmas scenes in Christmas Town of Nightmare Before Christmas just remind me of like the old like animated ones that would be on TV all the time. You know, it's like the classic Rudolph ones, or like Ev's favorite one that she's like, oh, we're gonna watch it this year finally, but like The Year Without a Santa Claus. And like just like I have
the ones like I'm Mr.
Heat Miser. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like all those styles of them, there's tons of them. Like they exist for days. Like I think there's one just about like Frosty the Snowman and like all that shit. Like there's a Jack Frost one, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it feels like a modern version of that. Yeah. Like I wouldn't be mad if they made more Christmas movies in this style.
So would you say this is, on your scale, this is a fucking Santa Claus?
It's a fucking Santa Claus, for sure.
I would agree. This is for sure a fucking Santa Claus.
This is a fucking Santa Claus.
Because Santa Claus is in it, you know?
And he looks cool. He's not just like classic, you know, big round Santa Claus. Like he's huge, but he's kind of like fit Santa. Like he reminds me more of like Violent Night Santa Claus. Yeah. Where he's like, you know, a little more lean Santa Claus.
Yeah, very true. Yeah. Very true. Hell yeah. Polar Express.
Good shit.
Watch it if you haven't fucking watched it.
Fucking Santa Claus.
Fucking watch it, motherfuckers. Yeah. But yeah, shall we move on? Which one do you want to move on to? Do you want to save Christmas Vacation for last, or do you want to save Die Hard for last?
I feel like in the spirit of the fact that we're doing a Christmas episode, we should probably save what I would argue is the more Christmassy one for last.
I agree.
Okay, so then we can get into Die Hard.
You're talking about yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, yeah.
He also goes, Geronimo, motherfucker.
That one's good too, yeah, I know. I was kind of disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of disappointed to find out that yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker is like whispered in this movie. I thought it was like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. But he's like walking away and he's like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
I'm glad it's not like yelled in this movie.
I want it to be full on.
It fits the John McClane character to be like just the very like charismatic, like
that's true.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah, just talking shit to Hans over the radio the whole time. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go take a little mid-episode.
Take a tinkle.
Usual tinkle, yeah.
Mid-episode tinkle.
Mid-episode tinkle.
Hell yeah. But yeah, guys, Die Hard. If you've never fucking watched Die Hard. I never watched Die Hard until this year, so
my first time too. Yeah.
So it was funny because like I was hesitant on it because I feel like it's always mentioned in the light of like, oh, dude's like the stereotypical like dude's favorite movie is Die Hard. Yeah, you know, so it's like there's always that caveat to it. Like I try to leave those out of my head before I'm watching something like this because I try to go into it with an open mind of like, okay, this may be actually really fucking good. And I think this was pretty good, right? Do I think it was the best? I don't think so. But I want to watch it again because, again, I think a lot of it I owe to the charisma of Bruce Willis and the, you know, the charm that he was able to bring to John McClane. Like, I'm not too sure if like a lot of other people could play John McClane the same way that he did and it worked like that, you know? So, yeah, I thought it was really fucking cool. My first time watching Die Hard, if you guys have never watched Die Hard, I'll look up the fucking synopsis really quick because, you know, I'm not the best at like giving a fucking synopsis without spoiling the movie, but yeah. So, New York City policeman John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, is visiting his estranged wife and 2 daughters on Christmas Eve. He joins her at a holiday party in the headquarters of the Japanese-owned business she works for, but the festivities are interrupted by a group of terrorists who take over the exclusive high-rise and everyone in it. Very soon, McClane realizes that there's no one to save the hostages but him. That's actually a pretty fucking good one. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Sometimes they're not the best, but that sounds pretty solid, honestly.
Exactly. This guy plays fucking Al. He also plays he plays fucking Carl Winslow in fucking Family Matters. And
I thought he looked familiar.
And Carl Winslow is basically just a cop. It's hella fun. Yeah. But I was honestly pleasantly surprised by this movie.
Me too.
It wasn't like I was saying before. It wasn't like my favorite like action movie, but it was cool. And I think I owe a lot of it to like the charm that Bruce Willis brings to the character of John McClane.
Yeah.
Like I was telling our audience beforehand that I don't think like I don't know if anyone else could play John McClane the way Bruce Willis played John McClane and pull it off.
Not that version of it. Like I think they could probably write a reboot and get
I wouldn't want
it.
there to be a different version of John McClane.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Like he is very different from like your stereotypical like Rambos or like freaking like the Terminator and stuff like that. In the essence, like one, also the look, like he doesn't look like the super crazy jacked action star. Like he has like a very attainable
New York cop body.
Yeah, he has a New York cop body, something that's like pretty attainable for the average person, you know. And he's like, you know, very charming and like joking, whereas like someone like a Rambo or the Terminator is definitely a lot more like stoic and just like, you know, straight faced and like
I feel like it's
not with the bullshit.
I feel like it's also one of those things where like you hear actors and I think, you know, directors and, you know, people and whatnot nowadays talking about how like there's no more like movie stars, which like I don't fully agree with, but in this aspect I can see what they mean is that like the role seems less recastable because of how much of like a real true action star the actors were when it comes to people like Bruce Willis or Arnold Schwarzenegger or John Stallone, fucking Sylvester Stallone,
John Stamos.
I know. I tried to copy because isn't his name John Rambo, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I like blended the two, but yeah, they're actual that they are the because it's an original character. It's not somebody playing Captain America or. Like, you know, like even nowadays, like the best modern one to do is like John Wick, right? Like you don't want to see a John Wick reboot or like somebody else play John Wick.
Yeah.
Because Keanu Reeves is John Wick.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around. Like, there's not a pre-existing notion of the character or anything like that.
Yeah, whereas Captain America is an already established character in comics and other mediums. Yeah. And it's just Chris Evans playing a different iteration of him. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, honestly, like the minute fucking John McClane is on like screen and he's just like walking and he has like this certain like swagger. Yeah. Right? When he's like walking.
Plane, right?
Yeah.
In the beginning,
yeah. And he's just like fucking like what is he? He's fucking like says some shit like to the guy like on the plane, right?
All of his lines are just one-liners in this movie. Like he just speaks in one-liners the entire time.
But like the minute he's like off the plane and he's just like walking around, he's just like I'm just like, oh, god damn it, dude. This dude's fucking sick, dude. Yeah. This dude's fucking cool already.
John McClane is pretty awesome.
He's just like a cool ass dude, bro.
Yeah, he's great. Now, I think one of the things that like I was tripping out on in this movie is that like I'm not going to try to sit here and say that this is like one of the best written movies of all time, but I do think it's a really well written action movie. Yeah. Because like it doesn't take itself too seriously. I think it knows exactly what it wants to be, and it just happens to let the actors playing the characters like kind of run with what's there. Like you were saying before we started recording, right? Like I do agree with that. But at the same time too, though, I do enjoy the writing a lot because of the setups and the payoffs in it. There's like endless amounts of things in this movie that they set up in like relatively casual situations that end up becoming like integral to John's like success in like moments of intense like shit later. You know? Like just even from the beginning of him getting invited to the party, like by his wife, right? Puts him there. Like Argyle being like, you know, taking out the dude later. Like just all of that stuff is like so smart to me for the type of movie that it is. Cause like it's very easy to do an action movie and not go there, right? Like I still really liked the Mission Impossible movie that we watched earlier this year in summer. I loved it. I thought it was great, but it's not like smart in its setups like this movie is. It very much goes Tom Cruise has a different brand of action, which is just I'm the GOAT. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna jump out of a fucking off of the side of a cliff in a motorcycle. That's enough. And you're like, no, you're right. It is. Yeah. But this is like smart action to me in my mind. Like all the scenarios feel very creative. There's never even though he is like running and gunning and blasting a bunch like Scarface style, yeah, it never feels like they're relying on that.
Yeah,
like,
no.
They're putting John in situations where he has to like be smart about how to get out and away from stuff, not just shoot his way out of it, which is cool.
Yeah, the action never feels like a crutch in the movie. Like it feels like something that
feels almost secondary.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's more like a cat and mouse game between like Hans and
I was
John.
under the assumption beforehand that like I was gonna be overloaded with action.
Yeah,
in this
me
movie.
too.
That it was just gonna be like every moment. It was just gonna be like gunshot, boom, 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 someone dying, all this. But I do like the moments when like John's able to just like sit there and he's like talking to Al over the fucking over the radio, and they're having like these moments. Like I think that's like another reason why I say I lend it to the charisma of like the character of John McClane more, because it's like at that point like we get to see him shine. Like he still says his like one-liners, but we get to see him like, you know, be a character and like do things like here and there and stuff like that. So
I also, another thing that like I really like about him is that it's a different, like, I think I personally found this to be more satisfying, but it's nice to see that your main character is not just like ridiculously overpowered.
Yeah.
Like it is fun and it's also very awesome, right? Like I also really, really love John Wick. But John Wick doesn't have a problem taking anybody out.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
It takes a super special secret assassin from like his past to like hurt him before like anything happens, versus like John has to struggle to take out every single individual person that he fights in this movie. And so whereas John Wick can kill a room of 12 terrorists in like 5 seconds, it takes John McClane the whole movie. Which is like, it just feels, it's like more slow burn, you know, and it feels more like the kills feel more earned.
Yes,
you know,
100%.
Like he's like
no kills easy for him.
No, he has to struggle to fight every single person that he goes up against, and he barely makes it out. And each time he's like adding up more wounds and like getting shot and like stepping on glass and like shit, because he's fucking barefoot the whole movie, and like still is managing to come out on top of like these difficult fights and stuff. So it's very it's very satisfying. Like I said, very good action movie. Like in my mind, I think like it's certainly not an amazing movie by like cinema standards or whatever, but for what it is,
it's fun, dude.
It's so good, dude. It's awesome.
What I think is funny, and I think is also like a genius addition to just like the character of John McClane, is like, and just like super unique, is just like him being barefoot. Yeah. And then being like, yeah, this fool's barefoot.
The whole movie.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that shit's so fun. Like that shit's so fucking funny to me, dude.
That's also
where I was like, damn, this fool's fucking barefoot right now. And this dude's just running around, fucking running up the stairs, fucking shooting at people, getting in fights, and he's just barefoot this whole fucking time.
That's one of the things that I love though, right? Because it's like, that's what I'm talking about with like the setups and payoffs, is it's like at the very beginning of the movie, they show that like John is like afraid of flying to a certain extent, right? And the dude next to him is like kind of shooting the shit with him, and he's like, I'll tell you what, man, when you get home, take your shoes off and make little fists with your toes on the carpet.
Yeah, that's right.
And like that's the whole reason why he's barefoot in the first place. And then shit hits the fan and he has to spend the whole rest of the movie like that. So it's like,
that's right.
That's the kind of shit that again, where I'm like, it's not like the most deep, heavy Oscar bait kind of writing, but to me it's very, very smart writing, because even though they're very simple surface level dominoes that are being set up to rise and fall, they're like so intricately spaced out to like make all of Die Hard at the end. I think it's smart. Like I think it's a smartly written movie.
And if I'm not mistaken, like he makes a comment about like Hans's watch, right? And then and then at the end he like uses like he fucking undoes his watch.
That's the one where Ellis, the douchebag cokehead guy, is bragging because he's the one who bought what's her name, the watch. And that's what Hans is hanging on to at the end. And so it's like he snaps it. So it's like,
see, that was a really good one to me.
That is good. Yeah,
I really like that one because that is like something that if you don't pick up on, like it's just gonna be like, oh, like this is just some lame excuse at the end of like the action movie for him to just like, oh, that's very convenient. Like in the moment it like may seem convenient, but then when you get the callback, like when you understand like what they were setting up, you're like, oh damn, that is very fucking genius.
Again, it's so smart because it's like they trick you because all of these things are put into place, like I said, in like casual circumstances. Like the watch is introduced and highlighted to the audience, but as like this guy being a douchebag trying to like move in on like the wife when they're like going through like a separation, whatever's happening, right?
Yeah.
And then later, like you said, it's like literally the linchpin of like Hans Gruber dying.
Yeah.
And like even with the barefoot thing later, like Hans using that against him, right? And like they're in like one of the final shootouts or whatever, and it's like I think Carl, right? Like the guy who's like the brother and Hans, and they're like firing back and forth, and like John McClane's like giving him a run for his money, and then like you see Alan Rickman stop and think for a second, and he's like, shoot the glass. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, shoot the fucking glass, bro. And it fucks him up. He like fucking has to take a hop across, and it like chops up his fucking foot. Yeah. So it's just, it's good. It's really smart shit, dude.
What I also thought was good in this movie is there was a lot of good like surprises and like fake outs.
Definitely.
Right? Like the one we were talking about earlier when the dude was like, when he was like, want some advice, like you should like kill someone, like before, blah 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 or whatever, when like you have the chance. When you have the chance, and then like you just see him pointing the gun down, and then you see the floor, and you see the shots, and you hear the shots, and you don't know who gets shot. But then it cuts to like John McClane. He's like, thanks for the advice. You don't know. I was like, oh damn. I was like, that was super cool because you don't know. Like you assume right there that like John McClane's like, oh, he's gonna get shot. Something's gonna fucking happen, and then boom, that happens. Another one is when fucking Hans is in like the office and they're trying to figure out like what to do like about John, and then the douchebag like cokehead Ellis like comes in or whatever, but you don't know, and fucking Hans is like, we have someone like very important to you, and he's like, oh, what the fuck, and then it like he hands him the phone, and like
it's him.
I really liked a lot of like the camera work too, like in it, like there was a lot of like really nice camera movement, a lot of like tracking shots where they're like walking and they're like going through like the building, which I thought was like good setup and like good tension, because you don't know like what the fuck's gonna jump out. You don't know what the hell's gonna happen. You're just walking, and like you're becoming aware of the scene as the character himself is becoming aware of the scene, you know?
They use like a lot of really good like placement of like the set or just where they decided to do stuff too, because what I like is like at a lot of moments when John's being like sneaky, you see him through like the cracks and crevices of things. Like it's not like,
and the camera's like moving along, like,
and you like he's moving by a fence that has like holes in it, and like you just see him every other hole like passing by, and it's so good, dude. It's fucking tight, bro.
They do a lot.
It's really good. I like it a lot.
Make it down, bro.
Yeah, I like it quite a bit.
Fuck. What else was fucking hella funny? There was some fucking funny ass shit. I liked when he was crawling through the fucking air duct, and he's just like, now I know what it feels like to be a TV dinner.
Yeah. I love his and Al's relationship a lot.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Pretty fucking hilarious, dude. And also like he's got a solid little character progression too. Like it's super basic, right? But like he tells the whole story of why he's a desk cop and everything now and whatnot, and then comes around to fucking shooting Carl, who somehow fucking survived getting hanged. But whatever. Yeah, vengeance is.
He's fucking Carl,
tool.
man.
He's Carl.
He's a fucking German, bro. Yeah. He could fucking survive anything, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Those two made me laugh, honestly. Because they're like highlighted the most, I think. Aside from maybe like the dude at the front desk, he's like, in my mind, kind of like a main-ish henchman or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, those two brothers crack me up, and they're like fucking with each other, and they're like in the beginning and whatnot. Yeah. And then also the like. They have it in every heist movie, but like the brainy one who like is hacking into shit and just like having a good time spitting Christmas puns like the entire movie. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's a good group of goons of like heistmen bad guys.
Yeah. But and of course John McClane has like iconic fucking one-liners, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, like so fucking good. Yeah. I'm very partial to the you're flying the ointment, Hans.
Oh, yeah.
A monkey in the wrench. Yeah. A pain in my ass. Yeah. Like, oh, that's so fucking funny. Again, like, another, like, line that I don't think anyone else than, like, Bruce Willis could fucking deliver like correctly like that, you know? Like he just does it so fucking well.
The one that I really like that probably made me laugh the most is I think it's either early in the movie or like halfway through the movie. At some point he uses the radio on the roof to call the police, and the person that he's talking to is like, "Sir, this is a line reserved for emergencies only." And he's like, "I know that, lady. What do I sound like? I'm ordering a fucking pizza?"
I like his note when like he kills his first dude, and he's just like, "Now I have a machine gun."
Yeah,
like,
ho ho ho. Yeah, crazy bastard, dude. He's insane.
A machine gun.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Other thing too that I like is like how good of a villain I think Hans Gruber is. Because like
Alan Rickman, R.I.P.
I know, yeah. Rest in peace, man. He is one of the greats for sure. He is like, one thing that I really liked about this movie about him is that like he's so good at like walking the line between like Joker-esque tendencies of just like chaotic, like, fuck you, I'm just gonna do what I need to get this done, and then like Bane, I guess, to keep it like a Batman, of like the very thoughtful, like super menacing kind of thing or whatever. Because like in the beginning they do the bit where they take the CEO guy, like the main boss or whatever, hostage, and like try to question him for his fucking like passwords and whatnot, and he sticks it out. And like, to me, because he was like kind of set up as like this suave, like, I'm not gonna dirty my hands, I'll let my goons do everything, like kind of vibe, I was like, all right, he's not gonna really kill him, like he's doing the threatening or whatever, but like he's either gonna give it up and he won't kill him, or he won't and he'll knock him out and ask him later or something. It's like the kind of vibe I got from him. But nope, fucking blows his fucking head off, right? Hardcore. That was already good, because I was like, oh damn, all right, that sets him up. But then he tricked me again later, because like when Ellis starts doing the negotiations, right, I'm like, all right, he's a sleazy like criminal business guy too, he's dealing with him, like he's down or whatever. And it's not until John gets on the phone with him and it's like, dude, fucking quit it, this fool's gonna kill you. And then he's like, Hans, I know what kind of person you are, he doesn't, like leave him out of this. I was like, oh shit, that's right, he'll just dumb fools, like if he's like not fucking with them or whatever. And then sure enough, bah, fucking,
I'm glad he killed that guy.
Me too, he's a piece of shit, but like I thought it was very effective. And again, like he's just playing that line so well of like just back and forth between like your common criminal who's just a trigger happy motherfucker to like the threatening, intelligent, like evil menace that he is. He's super good.
I liked when he was like climbing through and like stumbles upon John.
Yeah, when he's checking the explosives.
And they don't know like what each other like look like.
Yeah.
And then fucking
so good.
Yeah, he's just like he just gets into character accent, like really fucking quick. And at first it was like, what the fuck is like going down? Like, what's happening? And I was like, oh wait, he's pretending to be one of the hostages because he knows fucking John doesn't know what he looks like, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh damn. And I thought that was cool. And then also like the tense scene when he like gives him the gun. Yeah. And then he like obviously knows. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And fucking Hans tries to shoot him, and he's just like, "What do you think? I'm fucking stupid, Hans?" You know, like,
you think I'm fucking stupid. But then I like too. The guy's coming. He's like, "You are saying?"
And he just turns around.
And just fucking charges out. Yeah, and it's honestly just like, it's hilarious, but it's also like badass in its own right. Just to see poor fucking John McClane just like stripped down to his fucking wife beater and like no shoes, just like running for dear life, like blasting a machine gun. It's fucking funny, bro. It cracks me up, honestly.
What about the end when he tapes the fucking gun to his back?
That was savage, honestly. He just goes like full on like marksman though. Like up to that point he's been like, you know, getting people, but he's usually like spraying and praying, you know, versus like all of a sudden he's just like and like trick shots the guy to his right or something.
Just like pulls it out really quick.
Yeah, seriously, yeah. Only 2 bullets left. Yeah, that was pretty cool though. Again, like good setup, because it's like he hears her, right, and like you see him like fucking pull the thing out, and it's like, oh, there's only 2 bullets left, and then he like sees tape, and then it cuts away, and you're like, what the fuck is he gonna do with 2 bullets and some tape? Yeah, and then it's pretty cool.
But there was also like a present right above it, right?
Oh yeah, the wrapping paper.
Yeah. And I was like, "Fuck, is this full?" Like, What's this fool thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Got
good.
you a fucking present.
Got you a present, motherfucker.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, pretty good. I liked it a lot.
But this is definitely not a Christmas movie.
I wholeheartedly agree. As much as it like has Christmassy shit going on, it's not really about the spirit of Christmas.
No.
So I think for that reason it's not a Christmas movie.
Like, John doesn't go through enough of a change due to Christmas to call it a Christmas movie. Like, he just goes through a generic, like, oh, damn it. Like, I'm sorry. I was an asshole. Yeah. I should have never kept you from doing your thing.
But he really only notices it because he's about to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Not because so it's more, it's an action movie.
Yeah. And an action movie that's going on during fucking Christmas.
Yeah,
which I think is funny. I think that's just a funny background to have for an action movie, you know?
Yeah. But it plays for a lot of good jokes and stuff too. But no, I agree. It's not a Christmas movie. Yeah.
But definitely a movie.
It is a good movie. I think I'm going to say, to me, it's a great action movie. Uh-huh. Like, just to give it its
It's
due.
A classic for sure.
Yeah,
it's
just to give it its
classic.
due. Yeah, it's one of my new favorites for sure. I liked it quite a bit.
I also liked the FBI agents.
Oh, they're terrible. Johnson and Johnson?
Yeah. I'm Johnson.
I like when
this is Johnson. I'm Detective Johnson.
Yeah. Special Agent Johnson. Yeah. I like when he gets on the phone and he's like, it's Johnson. No, the other one.
They just suck.
They're idiots.
They're literally so fucking terrible.
Fucking like crazy lines too, because like they're charging in on the fucking helicopters, and like the older Johnson's like, this is just like fucking Saigon. And then the response from the other Johnson is, I was in junior high, asshole. Like, what the fuck?
They're terrible.
Oh, it's so bad, dude. It's hilarious.
I like how like they are the depiction of like the government agents.
Yeah, totally. Just like gung ho, just like, you do what the fuck we say. I don't care what it takes.
You're the fucking American government.
Yeah, seriously.
Johnson and Johnson. But yeah, Die Hard. Go and fucking check it out if you haven't fucking checked it out, because it's worth checking out.
Most definitely, I agree. Pretty good length. Maybe.
And also go and appreciate movies Bruce Willis has been in, because we're not going to get movies with Bruce Willis anymore.
I know. I saw a video clip of him recently where like they were celebrating his birthday, and it was like he was like up and about. Certainly looks obviously much different than like whatever we last would have seen him in, but it's good to see him like up and about, moving and like talking with his family and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's what I've liked these past couple weeks of like watching shit like Looper, and then watching these like that have like Bruce Willis in it, and being like, damn, like
this guy was a fucking
was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
this guy was so fucking great. You know, like, because I've watched Looper, I've watched Pulp Fiction.
That's what I remember him from the most. I think probably is Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, yeah. And it's just like getting to I want to watch that movie. Fucking like 12 Monkeys.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's good. Yeah. You know what I actually do remember is like, I don't remember it much now, but I did watch Die Hard with a Vengeance when I was a kid.
So crazy. Die Hard with Vengeance.
Yeah, because there's Die Hard. The second one is like, I think it might actually be Die Harder or something. I could be wrong. And then there's like Live Free or Die Hard.
Damn, so clean.
Yeah, and then there's Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Live Free or Die Hard might be the best. That might be the best title.
That one's badass. Yeah, Live Free or Die Hard. Just Die Hard is honestly pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Die Hard, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's funny how the second one they couldn't like really come up with like a good like name. Let me see. For
I could be botching it, and like Die Hard fans will be super pissed.
But Live Free or Die Hard, that's
awesome.
Crazy. That shit's so hard.
Oh, okay. So it's Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance. So I was wrong. The one I saw was Live Free or Die Hard. That's the one where he's older, and if I'm not mistaken, Justin Long plays his son.
Damn, so clean.
And then the last one that they made in 2013 was A Good Day to Die Hard, which I'm sure is probably maybe when John McClane actually dies.
Yeah. He dies hard.
He dies hard, man. And it was a good day to do it.
Wow. He died really hard.
Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Live Free or Die Hard, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
No, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh yeah, Live Free or Die Hard, and then A Good Day to Die Hard.
I think Live Free or Die Hard is probably the best title.
For sure, that's the best. Yeah,
that shit's so good.
Easily, yeah.
Live Free or Die Hard.
Yeah, I like Die Hard with a Vengeance too. That one's pretty cool.
That one's cool.
You know, my favorite title is about my favorite sequel title of all time is
what?
I need to figure out what it is really quick, but because I know the subtitle of it, but I can't ever. Oh yeah, okay. There's a movie called Breakin', and it's like a breakdance one. The second one is called Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo. Damn. That's just like the greatest thing of all time to me.
The Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, yeah. All right. After Die Hard, shall we move on to the fourth and final Christmas movie? And I think this is probably one of my favorite Christmas movies, 1,000%.
That's pretty good.
It's in my top, for sure. It's probably in my top 3, 1,000%.
I could probably put it in like a top 10, maybe even a top 5. But for sure, a top 10. It's pretty good. It's very good. Especially among the vacation movies, it's my favorite so far.
Yes. Christmas Vacation came to you guys earlier this year. I think episode like 71 or something like that.
Was the vacation one?
Was a vacation episode where we did like European, or we did the first, and then we did European Vacation.
Yeah.
And those were pretty good. But I grew up on watching this one on Christmas Vacation, and I knew the potential that Clark W. Griswold can give to a person while watching them.
Yeah.
And the first two didn't live up to that potential, for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
It did not.
Yeah.
But this one, so fucking good, dude. I love this one.
It's really good.
I love this one.
I do too.
But yeah, if you guys have not watched National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, that's what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
Basically, the vacation is brought to Clark Griswold.
Yep.
His parents, his wife's parents, his cousins, they're all coming.
Cousin Eddie comes
back. They're all coming to stay at Clark's house for Christmas, and he is in charge of, putting on Christmas. And, he goes through the classic Clark Griswold shenanigans. Mm-hmm. Things go wrong, things go right, things go terribly wrong.
Yeah.
And then things get a lot better at the end. And it's just such a good movie. I think it's such a, just a charming, heartwarming movie as well.
Yeah.
And it's great to see Clark grow as a person. I feel like, I think we said this in the first two movies,
he's just the same crackhead.
He's a piece of shit, and no one really tells him he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Until this movie, people are like, hey man, it's okay to if things don't go wrong, or if things don't go right.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
It's life.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
But it's great. He's up to his regular shenanigans. I like the opening scene when they get into when you get into the road rage fight with the dudes in the truck, and then he ends up underneath the fucking semi.
Lumber one, that's just hilarious, dude.
It's just hella funny.
And then the classic they do it in every movie, right? Where they fucking fly the car off of something and go for a jump or whatever.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, and forgive my husband. He knows not what he does.
Yeah.
Amen. And then just, turns off.
The other one I like too is later when they're at the table, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but the other fucking prayer joke is they're I can't remember the aunt's name, but the one who can't.
Oh, yeah.
Remember anything. She's out of it. She's
are we at the airport, Clark?
Yeah. She's can you say grace? And she's what? And she's say grace. She's they want you to say grace. And he's oh, of course. I pledge allegiance to the flag. And then everybody's
yeah, Cousin Eddie gets up. Yeah. I like the Grace. Oh, Grace died 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That's just freaking funny.
Yeah, I loved that. I think for this one worked better for me for two reasons, which was for one, the shenanigans were more wholesome for the most part. They do still have one, it only shows up twice, but they still have one, Clark's a dirty old bastard joke.
Oh, yeah.
Where, he, meets the girl in the beginning when he's, shopping for jewelry.
In the red?
Yeah, and then he, daydreams about her later and whatnot.
Malikaliki is a thing to say on
Christmas in Hawaii. Yeah.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, but other than that, for the most part, I think all of the shenanigans are more wholesome this time around versus a lot of the other ones felt like excuses to be dirty, or that was just a comedy, I guess, whatever it was. But the other thing that I like too is that this time, to me, the motivation for him being crazy about sticking to the Christmas feels a little more genuine, and maybe it's just because having a family Christmas is something that I can actually relate to versus as a kid, I was never a vacation kid, we went to Disneyland and stuff like that, but it was never let's go on a long trip where we hit a bunch of stops on a super long road trip or something like that, so maybe that's the reason why I didn't feel the same like, I didn't feel bad for Clark because I was like, you're just fucking crazy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But in this one, I feel for him because it's like they show you that like he used to have that kind of Christmas when he was a kid. And like he is really trying pretty hard to just get like, I mean, he goes over the top, but they're not insane things, you know, like putting up lights on your house or like getting the fucking like tree just right or whatever. Like he does his typical fucking sparky shit and goes overboard with it and whatnot. But they're not insane asks. Versus like in the other movies, everything they want to do is just like fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I also like that they added like the stress of like trying to get the bonus from like his work on it too. Like that's just like an added stress of like a family man, of providing for everybody and like, hey, I want to do these nice things for my family, you know?
It gives you something. It like grounds Clark's like jumpiness to like go ahead of himself in like a real way. Yeah. In the other things, it's always played for laughs, and like at times in this movie, it's still played for laughs. But like, it's not just like, oh no, like if I don't get that bonus, that would really suck. It's like, no, this motherfucker dropped like $7,500 to put a pool in, and if he doesn't get that, then they're out that money.
He wrote a check for money he doesn't have, and he's banking on this bonus. You know?
Exactly.
Which it adds to the stress of that because he's hoping for his Christmas bonus, and now he has all of his family there. Yeah, like he doesn't learn until like the very beginning that like his mom's parents are gonna actually come up. Yeah, so now he's gonna have his parents and his in-laws there, and it's just gonna be obviously, you know, when the in-laws get together, it's a whole fucking crazy fucking situation, you know. So it's just like that, not knowing if he's gonna get his bonus, everything. He's just like fuck. Going through, you know, it makes sense. You feel for him more like in this movie, like you're saying, his craziness is more justified in this movie. You know, it's more so like out of the stress of trying to be a provider for his family, rather than just being a fucking crazy ass dude.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, because he's like, and it's like it makes sense. It's like, or again, maybe it just makes sense to me because Christmas is something I'm more like familiar with, but like. He's trying to escape to like that childlike wonder that he used to have and like find a way to like keep that alive. And it's like it's very Christmassy.
But what I also like too is not to jump ahead too much, but like the conversation that his dad has with him, like after everything fucking goes down, and he's just like, hey man, like it's okay. Yeah. But what you're doing is making shit like worse. Yeah. And I like that because like it's such a good dialogue to have between a father and a son, to show that like your dad's never done teaching you stuff. Yeah. Right? Like you're growing up, your dad's teaching you stuff like when you're a little kid, blah, 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 blah. And then like, you know, when you get a family, that's like a whole different ordeal that like you probably didn't think you needed help. Like before you have a family, you probably don't think you need help with like, you know,
you have it figured out.
Yeah, you think you have it figured out. But then like once that's like a whole different thing. Yep. And then like your dad's there to help you out. So I thought that was like a really good way to like a really good person to have that conversation with him. Yeah, right? Definitely. Like I think not that I don't think it would be less impactful if like his wife has the conversation with him, but I think it just means more like coming from a dad who is also like trying to put on Christmas for like his family. Yeah. Right. And him being like, fuck dad, like how did you do it? And he's like, dude, like
Jack Daniels,
bro, like I didn't have it all figured out, and that's fucking okay, you know? So that was like this time like hit so much more different. Like when I was like watching it, I was like, damn, that's such a good fucking scene to put in there. So fucking good.
I like it too because it like definitely to me like helped to like contextualize Clark across all of the movies, even though I still think this is the better one. Like he tells him, he's like, you're a good father, but don't let your kids see you this way. Like this is insane. Yeah. And like again, it's like, okay, yeah, like does he do crazy shit? Yeah. But again, even across all the movies, he's just trying to be a good dad and like give his kids the experience that he had as a kid that made him so happy. That are like fond memories for him. And like,
let me take you on this fucking road trip. Yeah, like, fuck, you might not like it now, but you'll grow up and realize, like, damn, this is fucking.
I didn't like it when I was a kid either, but or whatever. Yeah, but it's really good, and I love all of the added members to the family too. Like everybody is crazy in their own right. Like I think I told you when we were texting about it. Like it is beneficial to Clark's craziness to see how crazy his surrounding family is, because then he doesn't seem like the only one who's like, because in the other ones, like his wife and the 2 kids are like pretty sane. Like,
yeah,
they're relatively normal. Like, do they do like comedy movie hijinks? Yes, but compared to Clark, they're like regular.
Yeah, having him alongside people that are just as crazy, like, really like puts into perspective.
It reels
like,
it in. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, okay, this fool's actually not that fucking bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, if he's dealing with this, like, this is his parents, if this is his wife's parents, then like, or this is his aunties, and Cousin Eddie comes back in again. It's like, all right, Clark's not the craziest.
Dude, that's such a good reveal, huh? When fucking Cousin Eddie comes back and he's just like, you know, hugging everybody, and then you go and you just see like the back of his head, and you're like, oh fuck, the homie.
Yeah.
And then he fucking talks to you like, oh damn, he's fucking back.
Yeah, because he's like, it's like when he gets the lights up, right? And they're like panning to everybody, and he's like hugging all of them, and then he's like, sure did a great job there, Clark. And he's all, thanks, Eddie.
Yeah. Dude, I love the ordeal with like the lights. That shit's so fucking funny,
that's
bro.
Good. And then all the fucking whenever they turn them on, like fucking bankrupts the whole city of its power. And shit.
Shit's great. Dude.
I was laughing because she fell asleep. She didn't watch the whole thing, but Buddy started watching it with me, and it was on, and she's like, "Is there anybody in it I know?" And I was like, You know Pierce from Community, because Chevy Chase is in that. It's like an old man, right? She's like, yeah. It's like, that's him. She's like, what the hell? She's like, no way. I was like, yeah. She's like, ooh, that makes me scared of aging. I was like, oh, fuck. I was like, damn, you're calling him out right there. I think he looks all right. He gets older, but... Or wait, have you watched Community before?
No, but I've seen like clips of it.
Bits
and stuff
of it,
like that.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, he just gets older.
Yeah,
you know?
it's all right. He just gets gray.
He just gets older.
He loses his hair a little bit.
But he does, like, Chevy Chase does look, you know, very young and lively.
Definitely.
Stuff, you know?
It's, I think also too, like, that was another thing we were talking about, where it's like, I have vague memories of Chevy Chase as like a young person in movies from like SNL bits and stuff when I was a kid. But the main thing that I like remember him from that I watched a lot, if like more recent memory, is Community. So like my image of him in my head is him as like an older man. So it is a trip to see him like when he was in like his prime, so to speak, for sure. It's kind of crazy. Same thing when I see like Steve Martin or like Martin Short, you know, like, I'm used to them as like the older, like either parental figures,
Silver Fox,
or whatever it might be. Yeah. So to see them young and stuff is a trip. It's hella crazy, but it's also cool. It's also a treat at the same time.
Yeah. I texted you about it. I like the whole beef that he has like with his neighbor and shit like that. That shit's so funny.
I looked it up and I still don't know who he is, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus plays the fucking wife, which is funny.
Margot.
Cool. I imagine she would. I think that was probably when she was already on.
Something had to come through the window. Something had to hit the stereo.
I know, seriously, yeah. The fucking icicle that slides out of the gutter into the fucking window and shit. Why is my carpet wet? Like fucking tripping out. I know, honestly, it's funny because they are annoying. They do a smart job to like set them up as like annoying, like rich folk kind of, right? Like bougie ass.
The juxtaposition of like them, like their house compared to like the Griswold house is like
works.
It's very funny.
But I was thinking about it though, and I was like, damn, if this actually did happen, like for sure the Griswolds are totally in the wrong. Like,
100%.
Like it's funny and it's like good hijinks because it's like a vacation movie and whatnot. Yeah. But I was thinking about it in reality and I was like, yeah, they would for sure have to pay for like.
This fool literally cuts a tree down and it smacks into their fucking house. And it breaks their window.
Yeah, destroys.
There's no way he's like not at fault for that.
No, yeah, seriously, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he probably couldn't even cut that tree down without like city approval or something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I like that part too though. That's hilarious because like, what's her name? What's the wife's name? I can't remember the mom's name.
Ellen,
yeah. I was going to say Helen. Fuck, I was close.
You were close, yeah?
Yeah.
One letter off.
Yeah, I added one extra. Well, never mind. When she's like talking with him, because I think Ellen has 2 L's sometimes.
Yeah, I think you had the right number of letters.
The wrong.
But one of them was wrong.
Yeah, exactly. She's having the conversation with him in the bathroom. She's like, it's okay. Like after he realized like he didn't get the bonus, right? She's like, it's okay. Like we can turn it around. Like it's going to be okay, but we should probably send you home or whatever. She's like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm totally fine. And he's like walking out and he like puts his hand on the thing and it's like wobbling and he's all, huh? I fixed the post and just like keeps moving like nothing happened. It's so good.
It's just so funny. I love the fucking when Eddie's fucking funneling all the shit out from his RV, and he's like, "Merry Christmas." Shitter was full.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh wow, did you hear that, Ellen? The shitter was full.
Yeah.
Have you checked our shitters lately?"
Yeah. That's so good. More example of good setup and payoff is like that happens like what, halfway through the movie maybe.
Yeah.
And they're like, geez, he's making chemicals out there, but nobody better light a match within like 10 feet of it. And then at the end of the movie, you know, all that shit or whatever. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Those two that come, the old auntie is funny, but the uncle is such an asshole. He's such
Uncle
a
Lewis.
Dick. Uncle Lewis, yeah, he's such a dick, dude. He's the worst. Just like a crotchety old man talking shit about everything and everybody.
Yeah. Glock, since you're not doing anything, go into the living room and get me my stogies.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you, Uncle Lewis.
Fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, that fool fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine putting like that many lights on your house, like a couple hundred fucking lights, and it covers your whole house.
Yeah, it's like 25,000, right? He's like,
no, it was like
2,500.
I don't think it was that much, but it was like
it's
a couple. It's like a couple hundred.
Yeah, because he tells him he's like 50 lights per line. He's like 100 lines or something like that for a grand total of it. It's like some ridiculous number, but it literally fucking bankrupts the entire city of like their power and shit.
It blinds the neighbors.
Yeah, it's like super bright. Yeah, when they're trying to have their little fine wine dinner time. Yeah, that shit was pretty funny. That was good. I also love just like the back and forth of it. Of like, it gets fixed for a second, and he calls Ellen out there, and then it turns off because like the grandma like turned off the light switch again, and then she goes back inside to try and fix it and turns the light on just to look out there, and like Clark thinks he fixed it, so he's like, "Come back!" And then he comes out and it's off, and then she's like, "Oh wait, I figured it out," and then turns it on. And also how sweet too, like he's a bumbling, fumbling idiot, couldn't figure it out, and then fixes it for him, and he's like, "I fixed it, honey," and she's like, "Good job, sweetheart."
Yeah.
Like,
hell yeah. She really gets it. Like she understands. Like even see like in the beginning, like when like all the sap, you know.
Yeah, that
like,
was funny too.
Little fool, a lot of sap.
Yeah.
You know, and then she's like in bed, and he like, you know,
gets hair stuck on.
Yeah,
her
and
hair,
she's just like continues like nothing fucking happened. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hella funny.
That shit was so fucking funny, dude.
Yeah. Good shit.
Actually, you know, that still reminded me because that like I was thinking about like comedic editing, right? And there was one part in Die Hard where where Hans like falls off the fucking building, and then it cuts to like the cops are like, "Well, I hope that wasn't a hostage."
Yeah.
And then it like cuts back, and I'm like, damn, that was just like
hardcore.
That was just terrible editing, like for like an action movie, because it like that was just so funny.
Yeah, and it's like the end of like the big intense showdown between Hans Gruber and like John McClane.
Yeah.
Hope that wasn't a hostage. Yeah, hardcore shit, dude.
But back to motherfucking Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
I like how the end was basically like the end of the first one, but just a lot better. Just like way better.
Yeah,
because the end of the first one, they go to like
make
break
it to Wally World.
Yeah,
right?
make it to Wally World, and they're like holding someone hostage and shit like that, and then the fucking cops come and stuff, and then the owner of Wally World is just like, oh, these paying customers have driven a whole like
open it just for them.
Yeah, open it just for them.
Is it the same actor?
No, I don't think so.
Ah, okay. I feel like it might, maybe not. Let me see. Yeah, the ending is funny though, because it's like, I actually watched a interview with Chevy Chase saying that like it was hard for him to memorize that whole like monologue of insults basically. So like some of the family members are holding cue cards.
Damn.
So like you can see it, and I saw it when I was watching it. He like looks down every once in a while to like keep that going because he fucking rattles them off ever.
That shit's fucking
But funny. That was funny though, because he's like, the only thing I want for Christmas is that motherfucker like hogtied or whatever he says, and like right in front of me so I could slap some sense into him. And then Cousin Eddie's just like, and just disappears like in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that shit was pretty funny.
I like how that's like, you know, a consequence, like him being who he is and blowing up like he normally does, and there never really being consequences for how he blows up.
Yeah.
But then that being the consequence for like his like, losing his cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Like, he thought he was
Sure.
going to get a bonus. He had normally gotten bonuses this past year.
Every year.
And then randomly the boss was like, oh, cutting bonuses, doesn't tell anybody, right? So he's rightfully angry.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
blowing up like that in front of his family, like, and that being the consequence of, like, Cousin Eddie being like, oh, damn, yeah, let me get this full, what he says he fucking wants,
Yeah, because Cousin Eddie's an idiot, yeah.
But I like how the end was definitely it was a lot better, right? Because that is a consequence of, like, Clark's own actions, right? He says what he says.
Yeah.
And then Cousin Eddie's just like, oh, yeah, let me go steal this fucking dude. Steals him, brings him back, and then the SWAT fucking comes.
Yeah.
And I thought the way the SWAT, like, comes in was definitely, like, a lot better. I think that shit was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
like, they literally just break in. My favorite is when, like, the dude just, like, falls from the fucking, like, where the stairs are at, and he just fucking jumps down.
Yeah.
Shit was hella funny.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just thought that whole thing was executed better, right? Because obviously, first off, like, the boss is, like, pissed.
Yeah.
And then Clark finally gives him his piece, and he's just like, it was my fault.
Yeah.
I said this and I said that, and, Eddie's heart is bigger than his fucking brain, blah, blah, blah. And, like,
thanks, Clark.
Yeah, thanks, Clark. And he's just like, oh, yeah. But, I don't know. Like, I just like how the end is just like, he is realizing what he did is wrong.
Yeah.
Blowing up like that is wrong.
Yeah.
But also, like, telling his boss what he feels, and then the boss being like, oh shit, what I did was fucking wrong, and then coming and being like, okay, I'm not gonna, like, I feel like that was just handled a whole lot better than just like, oh, these fine people drove all these way to break into this fine establishment, let them in, blah blah blah.
And also it's still funny too, because it's like the wife shows up, right, of like his boss, and he's like, no, there's no need, I'm not pressing charges. She's like, are you crazy? And he's like, well, remember how I was toying around with the idea of, like, cutting the Christmas bonuses? And immediately she's like, you piece of shit. Yeah, we're not pressing charges.
What
Let's
a
get
cheap fucking way to save a fucking buck.
Yeah, exactly.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, he is definitely an asshole. But, he learns in the spirit of Christmas all of a sudden at the end really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. It's definitely my favorite of the vacation movies. I still haven't seen, there's a Las Vegas Vacation, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then there's the reboot or whatever. Well, I guess technically not a reboot because it's, like, still Rusty.
Yeah, it's a continuation.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't seen that one either. I'm sure you probably don't need to. But yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. It's super funny. Like I said, I just like the fact that, like, all the hijinks are, like, a little more wholesome, I would say. Like, not as many, like, dirty jokes in this one. Like, not as many, like, super pervy moments or anything. It is still in there, but it's not like the whole fucking movie or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, the first one, like, a big part of it is literally just because, like, he lost a sex tape that he made with his wife and shit. Like, super intense. Like, just, like, still, like, I'm sure probably funny for that time and whatnot, but this feels more timeless, I think. Whereas, like, the other ones maybe grew a little bit outdated.
Yeah.
I think this one has, like, stood the test of it.
I've been watching this forever, and it still hits the fucking exact same. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? I like how he has his, like, I like how Clark has his little touching moments too, like when he's, staring out the window and fantasizing about someone else, But then his, like, niece comes and starts talking to
that was
about,
sweet.
like, that was nice of him just to be like, fuck, like he hit that, like, putting it in perspective for himself as well, of like, damn, like, shit doesn't, like, get anything for Christmas. This fucking sucks.
That was one of my favorite like, little jokes in the movie too, is where, like, I forget exactly how the setup goes, but, like, the little niece is like, yeah, Daddy was shitting bricks, and she's like, you shouldn't say that word. She's like, sorry, Uncle Clark, Daddy was shitting rocks.
That's like that reminds me of, like, from what's the movie with Russell Crowe and fucking Ryan Gosling?
Oh, The Nice Guys?
Yeah, The Nice Guys. Yeah. When the daughter's like, there's whores in here and stuff. And he's like, honey, how many times have I told you, don't say and stuff. Yeah. Just say, Dad, there's whores in here. Yeah. So that shit reminds me of.
Yeah, that's good.
But I like that moment a lot because it's just, it's
very wholesome.
It's very wholesome. Sweet, it's Clark not being a piece of shit and, really just, like, stepping up and being, like, a good, like, adult father-esque, like, figure for her.
I think the other movies, like, to me, weren't really going for, like, the heartfelt family comedy. It was more like a funny like spin on that trope and like making it more raunchy, I think. Versus like this one leans into it more and like gives you a reason to care about why Clark cares so much about like pulling this stuff off.
Yeah.
And like those little moments like that really send it home, because it's like, yeah, he is giving like the advice to the girl and like not advice, but like trying to put the spirit of magic in her and stuff like that, right? But at the same time too, it's also like, oh, all right, Clark is like a family man who's like really just trying to do this shit for his family, whatever. Like,
he's nice.
Yeah, he is. He's not. He is fucking crazy.
Yeah,
but he's also a nice guy. Like,
but what dad isn't crazy?
Yeah, exactly. He is still a good dad at the end of the day. He's just trying his hardest to like, maybe a little too hard sometimes for sure, but still, he's just trying his hardest to like help just try to give his kids the memories that he remembers so fondly as a child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like when he puts the fucking oil on his freaking sled.
Oh yeah, and he just like skyrockets through everything.
He just goes hella fast. He's like, yeah, this is
miles per
500 times slipperier than any oil that you can put on your fucking frying pan.
It literally is.
Yeah.
Freaking jams.
And he's like, Dad, has anyone put this on a sled before? I don't know, Russ. I think I'm the first one or something like that. That shit's hella funny.
Yeah, that was
very Clark Griswold of him.
For sure. Fucking shoots all the way down the mountain, across the highway into fucking Walmart and shit.
Yeah, the fucking Walmart fucking advertisement was hella funny.
I know, hella random. Like, like not even night, like super late 80s Walmart too. It's
so crazy how this one's 89 and it feels more 90s.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Die Hard was 88 and it feels like super 80s, like super fucking 80s.
Yeah, it's like it was the cross point between the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah,
you know? Some stuff was ahead of the curve, some stuff was still pulling from behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the fucking jokes with the neighbors I hella like is in the beginning when and then he brings home the big ass tree and the neighbor's like, oh, we're gonna fit a tree that big, blah, blah. And he's like, bend over and I'll show you.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I wasn't talking to you. And then he just looks at the fucking wife.
Yeah,
so
dude. Fucking
crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking hardcore. They were funny. I did like them. They're hella annoying, but they're pretty good. It's like it's just like a funny little. They had to do something. Like it kind of reminds me of the like a bigger expanded version of like the biker guy in European Vacation who just like keeps getting fucked up by like Clark Griswold's bullshit, you know, but like made more sense because he's like their neighbor and actually lives next to them. He's not just like randomly stumbling upon them at every other like country they go to or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny shit.
Exactly. So would you say this is a fucking Santa Claus right here?
I think for me it's a good Christmas movie. But I don't have the same nostalgia factor for it that you do.
I feel that.
Not because it's like, I think it's even a great Christmas movie. And it's like a great Christmas comedy movie. But like, I don't know. There's like, I think for me, that's why I said earlier, like Polar Express is like the like classic Christmas movie to me. Is it's like, I probably lean more towards the more mystical fantasy ones for my fucking Santa Clauses than I do like people realizing the spirit of Christmas.
True.
Kind of movies.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say this is a fucking Santa Claus for me. This shit's fucking great. I love me some Clark Griswold.
Yeah, he's awesome in this.
I love the Griswold family. I love the shenanigans that goes on.
Constantly changing the Griswold kids actors every movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That shit's fucking hilarious.
This time it's Rusty is what's his name from Big Bang Theory. Eventually, he grew up to be the main kid, the main guy. I think his name's like Leonard.
Yeah,
in Big Bang Theory. I've never really watched it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I like when the grandpa's like laying in his bed and he's like looking up and there's just like
like the
picture of the lady.
Yeah.
And he's just like
he's all happy, smiling. Still awake. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, guys, Christmas Vacation. You haven't checked it out? Go and fucking check it out.
It's really good
because
now is the season for it.
Yeah,
now's the perfect time.
Tis the season.
Yeah,
to watch some Christmas fucking Vacation.
Tis indeed.
But yeah, guys, that was episode motherfucking number 84.
Crazy.
We're getting there. We're old men now.
Yeah, seriously.
We're old ass men now.
Long past the retired age.
Yeah. We're probably in a home at this point.
Oh, for sure. Most definitely.
Hopefully a good one.
Yeah. We're just sitting in a home getting fed Jello and soup and applesauce all
and Wonder
day,
Bread,
making podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. Have you heard about this movie before?
Honestly, though, how great would that be? Like, that's like such a warm idea to me.
Just to have an old man podcast,
dude. If like, hopefully one day when we're old men, it's just how funny would that be? It's like we get put in the same old folks' home at like some point down the road. It's just like, hey, you gotta go back to podcasting.
We're just like, let's do it. Let's do it.
And then we later on we do it, but it's too old for TV.
Yeah, too old. Oh, that'd be fucking great. No one steal our fucking idea.
Get the fuck out of here. We have it on recording right here. It's ours.
Yeah. But guys, this is Too High for TV.
Yeah.
TOOHIGH4TV. And that's the number 4. The exact number of movies we fucking talked about today. 4 fucking Christmas movies. Yeah. You know, motherfuckers, don't spell it out. It's not FOUR. It's not FORE. It's not even FOR. It's the fucking symbol. You know, we're symbolic around here.
We really are.
We do that shit.
We do indeed.
But yeah, follow us on Instagram with the same name, 2HighForTV, TOOHIGH4TV, and on YouTube. Subscribe to where you can watch all the videos, all this motherfucking fun stuff, so you can't just see it. If you subscribe on YouTube, you're not just going to hear our voices, you're going to see our faces, and maybe you'll like that.
Yeah, we're cool. We have cool faces.
Yeah, or maybe you watch and see our faces, and you're like, realize like, damn, actually, I'm just going to listen to you guys on Spotify.
That's fine.
Which is fucking cool.
Totally cool.
Yeah.
Totally good.
It's great.
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the thing. If you get YouTube Premium, what you can do is click on the video and then lock your phone.
And you're good.
So you don't have to see our faces.
Not going to interrupt your listening experience.
Like if you don't support Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything like that, and you like YouTube more, you know, you can do that. You can do that.
Do your thing, man.
And we won't be mad.
Really won't.
But yeah, guys, that was episode number 84. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan.
I'm your other host, Daniel.
And we are motherfucking out of here.